Welcome to Swish and Flick, an all Potter podcast.
Swish and flick. Everyone? Swish and flick.
Hello and welcome to episode 47 of Swish and Flick. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Megan.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Raphael.
Okay, you have to take the Michelangelo take that we did and put both or put it at the end.
It's going to be all the turtles.
Were you guys expecting me to say Michelangelo?
I was curious.
Oh, no.
It's got to be different every time.
Side note, we had to redo this take, and she was Michelangelo before.
So
I'm wearing a Ninja Turtle blanket. That's why I said it.
This episode is sponsored by Ashley Perkins.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you for being your perky self.
Aww.
Do you like
nice
Perkins restaurants? I've never gone.
I've never been.
Aren't they like
Do you own Perkins restaurants?
Ponderosas? Remember those?
How's it Ponderosa?
I've heard them.
It is not very good. So. All right. Today we will be discussing Chapter 5 of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, the Dementor. Dementor. Woo. So make sure that you have read the chapter and you're ready to dive into the details.
The pool of details.
The pool of details.
You sounded like Trelawney.
The pool.
The pool of details.
Before we do that, we need burp breaks, and Megan needs to tell us about all our social media needs.
Swish and Flick Podcast can be found on Facebook at Swish and Flick Podcast and Swish Flickcast on Twitter and Instagram. And also make sure that you head on over to our YouTube and subscribe because our podcast posts there as well as vlogs. Make sure that you head on over to Patreon for exclusive access to the Felix Files, which is our bi-monthly bonus episodes. There's also an opportunity for a chance for you to be a guest on the Felix Files, a live video chat session with us monthly on Zoom, monthly giveaways, and more. So if that sounds fun, head on over to patreon.com/swishflickcast and choose your support level. And shout out and huge thank you to all of our current patrons. This podcast wouldn't be possible without your support, so Thank you. Lastly, make sure that you check out our brand new, I still think it's brand new, fancy schmancy website, www.swishflickcast.com. You can check out all info on Swish and Flick, the hosts, how to subscribe, get some swag.
Swish swag.
Swish swag.
Swish swag.
And what else is on there?
Yeah.
FAQs, our blog, all kinds of stuff.
Episodes.
Some stuff.
Yep. So, Weekly Profit is.
The Weekly Profit.
So this episode is coming out at the end of June, so there's still time, which is why I chose this. We're recording a lot of episodes right now because Tiff's about to pop. So,
Truth.
this is early June, but
you're going to hear this
you're going to hear this later. Not that you care or need to know that, but I said it. So,
All right.
there is a contest that J.K. Rowling put out for her Lumos Foundation. Now, she did this with the first Fantastic Beasts as well. Mm-hmm. So this is out again. You can donate $10 to the Lumos Foundation minimum and get entered into a contest to go to the premiere of Fantastic Beasts.
Does he say you get to meet the cast?
And
Did he say that?
Eddie Redmayne
and you get
on
to
the Insta of Grams yesterday.
and you do get to
right.
meet the cast. Yes.
All right. Yes.
Who would you bring with you as your guest?
Maddie.
Katie.
Meg.
Nothing. I'm just saying your name.
I wouldn't bring any of you.
Would you bring Florence?
Would you bring Fozzie Bear?
Fozzie doesn't have a passport. Unless we're going to New York.
You could go. Yeah.
I think that you go to either New York or London or Paris. I think it probably
go to
depends
Paris
on where you live.
And take
No, I
care.
think it
So there are
doesn't.
three
I think you
winners?
can win the
You get
one
to
and
pick.
I don't know if you get to pick, but I would think that there's one winner for Paris, one winner for London. You could potentially go to Paris even if you were close to New York. That's where I would like to. I mean, I guess I've never been to London. I've been to Paris.
Hold on. Are these
So
all
there's
the
3
locations
chances?
that they're filming?
Yeah.
Yeah. So far.
Oh, I like that.
Isn't there one going to be in Spain?
Allegedly, that is
Isn't that what we talked
That's
about?
the rumor.
Yeah.
I don't think we talked about that.
I think we talked about it on a
One of the very first Commander stories.
Yes.
Because she
'Cause
had
her
that tweet.
She had the
Yeah.
tweet, yeah. So you can obviously donate more than $10, but $10 is the minimum to get one entry into the pool to get chosen. Yes, 3 cities, 3 premieres, 3 winners. 3 people will be chosen to go to either New York, Paris, or London. You get to stay, as it says, in a swanky hotel for 4 nights.
4.
Get 2 tickets to the red carpet premiere and get a meet and greet with the cast.
Jeez, that's a lot of people.
Oh, you get to choose the city you want to go to for a chance. When you donate, you choose what pool you want to go into.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay, where would you like to go,
Paris.
London.
Katie?
I almost want to pick New York because I feel like everyone else is going to pick London and Paris, so that maybe I'll have a better chance. That's there'll be less people.
Good. That's good thinking.
There, Bear.
Yeah.
I would say London just because I've been to Paris and New York, so.
Oh my god.
World traveler.
I've already been to those places.
But I mean, I would. If I'm no, I've been to New York more than once. I've only been to Paris once. But I'd go anywhere, to be honest with you.
So,
I'd get
donate.
a crepe when I was in Paris. That's what I would eat. La crepe.
A pipe and a grape.
As I said, donating $10 gets you 1 entry for a prize draw. And it's really cool because they give you a breakdown of what your donation does with Lumos. So like what they would use your money for. So a $10 donation, you could help train the parents of a disabled child who is being reunited with their family. $50 gets you a limited edition gold foil Fantastic Beasts print and 5 entries into the prize draw. This also enables Lumos to trace the family of a separated child.
That's awesome.
Yes. $75 gets you a Lumos edition Fantastic Beasts t-shirt and 7 entries
How much
into
money?
the prize
How
draw.
much money?
75.
Okay.
I thought you said 500 at first, and I was like, oh my god.
75. Your donation could provide education supplies for children newly reunited with their families.
I like that one.
Yeah. Donate $120. You get the limited edition gold foil print and a t-shirt and 12 entries into the prize draw.
This sounds like Patreon.
I know. Your gift could help develop local services to assist young people leaving institutions to live independently.
Awesome.
And this one is already sold out, but it was $2,500. I remember. $2,500 gets you a signed copy of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them screenplay book by J.K. Rowling, presented in an exclusive limited edition suitcase specially created for Lumos, and 250 entries for prize draw. Your generosity could train 10 people to become foster carers and parents.
That's crazy that it's already sold out. Like, that's awesome.
I love that
Yeah.
it's sold out, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I think I kind of want to go for the 50 and get the print.
the print.
Because I don't know where the heck I would hang it. My house says there's no space to hang things, but
I want the t-shirt, but I don't. But
That's 75.
yeah.
yeah, I know.
Not that I don't want to help out,
I know.
but I also
but-
need food.
That's true. We do need food.
But yeah, and anybody who doesn't know what the Lumos Foundation does, it says here about the Lumos. Imagine being separated from your parents simply because they were too poor to look after you. Imagine being vulnerable and alone and exposed to unimaginable living conditions and abuse on a daily basis. Imagine not having a choice or a voice. An estimated 8 million children around the world live in harmful orphanages. Many suffer abuse and hardship as a daily reality. Shockingly, 80% are not even orphans. They have at least one living parent. These vulnerable children need families, not orphanages. Lumos has the proven solution to transform the future for children in orphanages. So,
Joe.
Go
you
Lumos.
have until July 6th to enter.
So if you're just now hearing this, you have
You'll
a very
have
short amount.
you'll have about like
2 weeks? Week and a
10
half?
days from when this episode is posted to join. But I'm going to share this on our page before that anyway. But
But in case it gets swallowed in all the other fun on our pages.
don't forget to go, because it goes to a great cause. It's a tax write-off,
But we could
which
do-
is nice bonus.
we could do a new pinned post though. After
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
our
course.
poem thing.
Yeah. So I'll pin it. Yeah. I think I'm going to get the print.
Oh,
So
Are you each going to do something separately, or are you going to go in on one?
I don't know.
don't know
Hopefully
yet.
separately. We'll see what
we'll see how that goes.
see what the
One
bank
day.
allows.
Yeah.
all right.
Cool.
That's it.
All right, I have weekly profit things.
Do you?
I do. So
Can I preface this by saying all the things she's gonna say are lies? She's the Rita Skeeter of our podcast.
I'll be a bug.
You are a bug.
I know. A bugaboo. All right.
God.
So, Jiminy
I think your husband
Christmas,
just
Martin,
died.
oh, man. All right. So, I put out a poll on Twitter because of our conversation about corn dogs, right?
Oh
So-
my God, yes. This is so important. though.
So I said, listen, it is important to me. I said, Swish and
Do you
Flick
like
poll.
garbage or not?
Do you like corn dogs? 72% of the 78 votes said, heck yeah.
You know what's funny? It almost sounded like you're gonna read a poem. Do you like corn dogs? By Tiffany O'Malley. Corn dogs. Are they fun? Corn dogs.
Give me some. corn dogs everywhere. Corn dogs, I don't share.
Oh my.
All right. And 20% of people said no, gross.
20% are amazing.
I said 28%.
28%.
Okay,
I'm
That
with you.
72% is okay with putting a stick of trash in their mouth. I don't understand.
I'll do it all day. Katie, stick of trash.
Oh,
So I said that I would read some of the comments. So somebody wrote and said they are called American dogs in Japan.
huh.
Weird.
Yeah. And I said,
I feel like an American dog anywhere outside of America should just be ketchup, mustard, hot
Really?
dog.
Or like
maybe.
a chili dog, you know?
I don't think I like a chili dog.
I do.
I will say.
Apparently you don't like corn dogs, but you're like down for a chili dog.
Corn dogs suck. Chili dogs are awesome.
I will say, I know in that episode I did say like I would when I was a kid I'd eat I'd take the corn like bread off
Yeah,
the
yeah,
dog
yeah.
and eat the dog.
Nope.
And Katie was like, no, it's still like it doesn't taste good. But like
It makes
I
me wanna gag.
I was like in a family where like if we weren't eating dinner, you weren't eating. So like I would have to like I'm not a big taco
Make
fan,
the best
especially
of it.
homemade tacos. So I was like,
so good.
oh no, I don't like the ground meat and the taco seasoning.
Oh,
Ugh.
I love it all.
So I would break a taco shell in half and had cheese melted on it. So like everyone else is
You'd have a hard quesadilla.
so everyone's eating like these great tacos, and I'm sitting there eating like a
Chips
taco
and
shell. Just cheese.
I guess I should try and say this person's Twitter handle. One Okusagi said they're called American dogs. And I said, oh, really? And she said, yeah, I was surprised by them when I first saw them. I'm so happy I can still get one if I want, though. Something tells me I'll be getting one soon. Somebody else said, I'm vegetarian. And
They
so I
have been
responded, I
saying-
said, so no.
Morningstar makes vegetarian corn dogs.
I wonder if I'd like those. Probably not.
Oh, Victoria Rose 111 said, I felt like Julie Andrews in Princess Diaries for the first time I tried one. Skeptical, but very pleasantly surprised. I love them. Lindsay Wilcox 61 said, corn dogs are the most beautiful creation if we're honest. And I said, can I get an amen? Paul Dewey said, hot dog on a stick in San Diego County Fair is a must eat.
No, I'll have cheese on a stick.
Cheese on a stick is bomb.
Meg Bub said, go to the Illinois State Fair every year, but not my thing. She's not a fan.
Thank you.
Vera, oh goodness. I'm just going to say Vera because I can't figure out your handle. But it's because I'm from a country where they're not a thing. So she must have voted no.
I'd like to be in that country where they're not a thing.
Oh my goodness.
I also will say I don't like cornbred. I had
See,
cornbread
I
once
love
in my life that I
cornbread.
liked, and I just
Well, listen to this person. So Lindsay it's just Lynn's for the little name. I voted yes, but honestly, I'd rather just have cornbread by itself because it's delish. I put sriracha on my cornbread because I'm nuts. 10 out of 10 recommend though.
Are you saying that because you think I'd like to eat it with sriracha?
You enjoy some sriracha sometimes, don't
Meg
you?
says sriracha. That's how she says it.
But I'm also like weird with my hot dogs. Like I could just eat a hot dog.
I used to eat cold hot dogs all the time as a
You
kid.
look like
not
the
cold,
4th of July.
but-
Makes me want a hot dog real bad. And last but not least, Carly John K.E. says, corn dogs, Jackie. Corn dogs for all these people. So corn dogs, y'all.
No.
That's my
Oh,
piece.
it's so gross.
All right, we're going to flip right into the
Recap.
no.
Whoa.
Somebody tried to get me to do it yesterday, and I said, nah.
You can't do that many R's because I can't fit that many on a snapback hat.
Well,
It was hard enough fitting 4.
sorry.
All right, recap. So last time, Harry got to enjoy some newfound freedom and wander around Diagon Alley for the remainder of his summer holiday. And he kept his eyes peeled for Ron and Herm. Much to Ron's dismay, Herm bought herself a cat named Crookshanks, who seems to have it out for Scabbers. Who cares? Harry overhears...
Scabbers for life.
That was so savage. Who cares?
Harry overhears the conversation between Mr. and Mrs. Weasley that reveals Sirius Black is seriously after him to finish Voldemort's work and seriously kill him.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Oh, hold on. Are you serious?
I'm seriously serious.
I've had enough of this today already.
Let
Are
us
you
begin.
seriously over it?
I am. Let us.
Are you dog tired of it?
Bitch.
She thinks we're barking. She thinks we're barking mad.
You are barking mad.
All right. So ministry cars have arrived to pick them up and take them to King's Cross Station. After the goodbyes and warnings, Harry and Co. find a compartment with their newest professor.
Woo! Woo!
Get out.
And said dude is fast asleep. So there's a dark incident on the train that is helped with chocolat. Eat, you'll feel better.
Yum.
Love that. Quote.
They're finally
About
back
the
at
chocolate
Hogwarts.
and about the professor.
Okay.
Yes.
They are finally back at Hogwarts, and after words with Mick G, they get to enjoy the feast and head to bed.
Okay.
I have a question, Tiffany.
I have an answer, Megan.
Do you abbreviate Crookshanks at all?
Shanksy.
It's just Shanks. Crooks.
I don't think I have.
She says da cat.
I haven't gotten to like having to write
Yeah.
Herm's
the
Kit
name
Kat.
so much.
Herm's
Hate
cat.
all of you.
Oh, God.
I hate it when we
Let
do
us
that.
roll.
All right. So, a toothless Tom wakes up Harry with some tea. And I want to know about Tom because the movie Tom is vastly different from 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Is it the same dude or a
No.
different dude?
No.
Definitely
way.
not.
Different.
I don't know if I can do it.
Why did they make, like, I
Yeah.
get that he's toothless. Fine. But why did they make him so
Hunchback?
crazy?
I
you
mean, why is he Quasimodo?
I don't understand.
Do you think he eats corn dogs, or is that too much?
definitely
With no
a corn
tea.
dog eater.
He
Definitely
dips it in
corn
his
dogs.
pea soup.
Eats it before he eats you.
Oh my God.
He has to eat soft foods.
Probably.
I mean, if he's
'Cause he's
toothless,
I was
Why
like,
wouldn't he magic himself some tea?
can you do that though?
I'm sure you can.
It
If
could be like George
Muggles
Washington.
can make fake teeth, magic should be able to make fake teeth.
Or just get yourself some
George
Dentors
Washington.
and magic them on in. Sticko in my mouth.
New Tithio. Get some chompers.
So there's like literally nothing about him. Except if you
Or
go to the
Tom.
Wikia, I think they like try and piece some things together.
Ooh.
But take it with a grain of salt. So he's the landlord or innkeeper or barman or all three of the Leaky Cauldron. Friendly with many witches and wizards that pass through the pub to get to Diagon Alley. Shocking, right? I know. It appears that he has run the Leaky Cauldron for a long time. He was very excited to meet Harry Potter for the first time.
Who isn't?
I would agree.
Me? Didn't care for the kid.
It seems as if Fudge and him see each other quite often.
Do you think that Fudge is like a patron? Like, you know, that's where he goes. to
Like he
get-
goes and like I know what
Patreon.
your
like
drink
all the
is.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's a secret binge drinker and he binge drinks with Tom.
Well, I feel like he goes to the Leaky Cauldron
and
or
he goes
the
to the
Three Broomsticks. I
Yeah.
mean, in Hogsmeade.
Well, but
Because
does
he
only,
knows what's Rose Murda very well.
But
Yeah.
does he go? Maybe he just makes the rounds. But he typically,
pubs?
well, because we
Wizard
know
pubs?
that, yeah, but we know that he goes and asks Dumbledore for his opinion a lot.
Well, yeah, he writes them like every day.
Yes, so maybe he's
Probably
always down
pops
there,
up and sees him too.
probably several times a week.
he probably is based in London, and Dumbledore's based in Scotland.
Yeah, but
Is that like a long way for an owl?
well, he's just
to go?
apparating right into Hogsmeade.
No, the owl. I
They're
mean.
the owl?
magic owls.
No.
They probably fly twice the rate of a regular owl.
Maybe.
right through the sky.
Like lightning.
Grease lightning?
No, a bolt.
Grease lightning, oh, grease lightning.
Doesn't it go grease lightning?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to nitpick, but just kidding.
Seriously,
but no,
though, you're correct.
I feel like not only because he's the minister, I feel like anywhere he goes, they're gonna like know like what your drink is. But I feel like he probably bounces around.
Yeah.
Like,
What do you
these
think his drink
pubs.
is?
Whiskey.
No. I think he's too much of like, ugh.
What does he
drink
order
whiskey. I bet
later in
something-
this book?
I bet you
Is
it's
it a-
something like
it a butter-
sweet.
You think?
I forget what he
Like a
orders.
fruity or a sweet drink. Like,
Oh, I don't see him doing that.
Yeah, like I could see him doing a.
I could see him
Not
doing
a
like a dry
margarita.
martini or something.
I see him more of what's rum and
Coke.
No, not a margarita.
I think that he just
daiquiri?
Yes.
You think he would drink a daiquiri?
Yes.
Oh, I don't see that at all.
Yeah.
I don't. See
I
that
think he'd
either.
be like mead, like a nice, like a little
No,
glass
maybe a
of mead.
cider. Like he's not a beer man. He's a cider guy.
Cider guy,
Yeah.
I bet he's just a butterbeer
butterbeer
drinker.
guy, butterbeer
Yeah,
guy.
which is sweet.
I know, but it's not like a
Sweet.
daiquiri.
I just think he's the.
I feel like
type that would
Lockhart drinks.
Yes.
the fruity
Sure.
drinks.
I need-
Oh, for sure.
Everything
little umbrella.
fancy with the umbrellas.
Well,
A Bahama Mama at the bar. That's what he's drinking.
He's gonna get drinks that match his outfit. So if he's wearing
Oh.
blue, he's gonna get a blue
Oh
drink.
my
What's-
god, you're so right.
Hypnotic, isn't that blue?
I don't know. If it's sweet, I don't drink it.
I don't know. That was college days. Anyway,
I think Hypnotic is pink.
There's something that's blue. I don't know what it's called.
I'm gonna Google it. Katie, did you find his drink?
No, it's bothering me.
I'm pretty sure that it's Butterbeer.
I believe you. I just.
I
really
think
need
it's a
to read it.
movieism, though.
Okay. Well, we'll find it someday. Maybe this day. Maybe not.
We'll find it when we get to that chapter.
So
So Sarah can find it.
as far as Tom's early life, they're like maybe he went to Hogwarts and left and became the barman of the Leaky Cauldron. It says sometime before 1938. So they said it could be possible that Tom encountered other Tom Riddle, that is, on his way into Diagon Alley for the first time. It's possible because that's the way that he probably would have taken. And that's kind of it. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
He was drinking red currant rum. So I was right with the rum.
Yeah.
Is red currant sweet?
Probably.
No idea.
Currant is like a type
Cherry.
of date cherry.
My bad.
In 91, he met Harry Potter and Hagrid as they passed through. In 93, which is where we're at now, Fudge asked him to keep an eye on Harry while Sirius Black was on the loose. In 97, he attended the funeral of Albus Dumbledore. And it says in 98, he was greeted by Bellatrix Lestrange, which was really Hermione Granger using Polyjuice Potion on the way to Gringotts. It says Tom passed away or retired during the next 19 years. And then it says since Hannah Abbott took over as landlady and lived at the inn with her husband, Neville Longbottom.
Do they have kids? I know this is totally off topic, but I was thinking about this earlier when we were talking about
Who, Hannah and Neville?
Yeah, because you don't hear about that and the lovely written play
Other
of
book.
Cursed Child.
Maybe
it's not
they-
a book; it's a play.
Maybe
Yeah,
they
whatever.
do, but they're just younger and not Hogwarts age yet. That's kind of, I guess, what I envisioned.
Well, you never know what we're going to get on Pottermore since it's been...
They don't like to give us information.
Yeah, but...
They didn't even give us Sirius's birth year, just his date of birth.
Well, we can assume
Or
the
it's
birth
It's the
year.
60th, 60.
His
1960.
Patronus, or what his
And other
wallet
things.
is.
Yeah. And she has all that knowledge.
You
She's
know
got
she
to.
does.
Anyways, back
Dear
to
Joe,
the
I want an
chapter.
encyclopedia.
So I just
Dear
wanted to
Joe.
see if we could find any more about Tom, and it's very little, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Not Tom Riddle.
I think that the way that
Toothless
they
Tom.
made Tom in the first movie is how I envisioned him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Not
then
that,
I
like,
don't
bumbling
I don't know
fool.
what the heck they made in the third.
I think they're just trying to jazz it up, you know?
It was Alfonso
Alfonso.
Cuarón, and I, you
You want me
know,
to go-
I love Alfonso Cuarón as a director. Like he does a great job setting tones. I've liked other movies that he's done, and I appreciate what he did for Prisoner of Azkaban in terms of tone and picture, like how it looks.
Yeah.
But the extra crap that he added
So
in.
extra.
Okay, the part that I really hate though. Okay, let's I'm sorry that this is a teeny tiny bit off topic, but just like real quick, those scenes throughout it where it's like showing the seasons and it's like this bird flying around and then it hits the
puffed
Whomping
up.
Willow. You just wasted 5 minutes of the movie if you combine all 4 of those scenes. You could have put the Marauder story in 5 minutes.
I agree.
Just saying.
I like those scenes.
I like them too.
They're
but-
cute.
I like that you remember that, like, it brings in the focus
The willow.
of the willow, and that it's I don't know
get-
if it's a sentient being or anything, but it moves and it's a vital part of the
I
story.
get why he did it, but like to me, there are way more important things to be put in that he didn't.
Do you know how plants are living things?
Yeah.
Do you think magical plants, since they're living things and they're magical, do you think they have like specific like personalities?
Probably.
Ooh, I bet.
Because, well, let's think, I mean,
Look at
Whomping Willow,
the
mandrakes.
Whomping Willow.
the venomous tentacula.
yes.
Careful, it bites its teething.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I like that.
Cool.
I'm headcanoning that.
Okay.
Me too.
Done.
Ma'am.
Okay, let's go be extra.
All right, no.
Okay. Today is the day they're leaving for Hogwarts. Yay!
Woo!
But
The day Harry's been waiting for.
forever. Hedwig doesn't want to be crammed back into her cage after having a large amount of freedom. Feel like she's Bird Harry, and I feel like
Yeah.
Bird Harry.
Yeah, but like I think
He-
she's more willing to like be sassy, like where Harry's not there yet.
no, not
Like,
yet.
Oh,
she's
but
gonna
he
act-
gets there.
for sure.
Yeah, maybe
For sure.
for sure. On the for real. I
Yeah.
think she gets that, or I think he gets it from her.
Yeah.
Ron is already irritable because Percy accused Ron of dripping tea onto his picture of his girlfriend, Penelope, and she was
Cleopatra.
hiding her little blotchy face under the frame. And I feel like we get like a bigger glimpse of, I don't know, moody Ron. Like he's getting more moody as he gets older.
Yeah.
As most people do. When they're teenagers, everybody's moody.
It's true. It's a terrible time.
Yeah.
Harry attempts to tell Ron what he had overheard the night before, but he keeps getting interrupted. And this first time, he gets interrupted by the twins because they're like, "Oh, hey, great job, Ron." And it's like, it's not Ron. He didn't do that. And then the boys head down to breakfast, and Molly is being... Ooh, Molly. She was telling the girls about a love potion that she had made, and all 3 were giggling. And Arthur was very seriously reading his Daily Prophet.
I've seen some fan fictions and some things that she used the love potion on Arthur, and then Bill was conceived under it, and so like he doesn't love. Just saying.
Interesting.
And then there's some that like are clearly not nice to the Weasleys, where like she told Ginny to use one on Harry so her daughter could marry Harry Potter. Not saying I agree with this at all.
Crazy. Whoa. That's risque.
There's some things in
But
the
that is like if you
Otterverse.
think about like love potions,
love potion number 9.
whatever. I don't know what that means.
It's a song.
By who?
Love potion number 9.
No.
You've never heard that song?
Get out.
We'll play it once we're done.
All right. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. I don't like love potions.
No.
Obviously,
No.
we see the results of what can
That's
happen
not
with them.
consent.
Preach.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I mean, for the innocent sake of it, like, I'm glad they're giggling and having fun. All right. Leaving for Hogwarts was chaotic as usual, and Harry still hasn't had time to tell Ron or Herm about what he has overheard just yet. And I feel like throughout this whole time, he's like, I feel like you can feel that Harry's like tense because he keeps wanting to have an opportunity to talk to them about it because he needs to get it out, and he has no chance. And you notice as you read this time that there's a lot more focus on the animals in this book, and you can kind of tell where it's headed now that you know the outcome. You can read what Jo is. She's like sticking all these little things in, like Ron having a mini fit about Scabbers being near Crookshanks, and they're talking about all the different owls, like Hermes, and I don't know. I just noticed that she has put more emphasis on the animals this time around.
Well, I wonder why that is, Tiffany.
I just said it.
Guess we'll find out, really.
That's not a movie.
I think that's a big theme in this book is animals. Animals. We see several.
Several.
Well, I was going to say something else, but that's for a later podcast episode.
Alrighty. The ministry cars show up, and they are dark green in color, and they're driven by wizards wearing...
They're what?
Driven. I hate all of you. By wizards wearing emerald velvet outfits. Hashtag shout out to Velvet.
Well, I was gonna say, it reminds me of the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, with the carriage driver?
Yeah, they're all like, I don't know, emerald to me.
An Emerald City.
Emerald City.
Yeah.
The wizards. Except he's not really a wizard.
Sad fact.
Oh yeah, the youngest Munchkin died. Or the only living one died.
Yeah.
98 years
I thought it was
old.
99.
Wow.
Oh, I
I
read
heard
98.
98.
But
He was the one that gave the lollipop.
yeah, pour one out because that's a very long life. My goodness. The way that Mr. Weasley is acting is like he is on like high alert and he's watching for any funny business, and we know why. Harry, Herm, Ron, and Percy ride together in a car, and traveling in the cars was much more uneventful compared to traveling on the night bus, but it still says that they can slide through gaps in cars like the bus was when they were traveling. So I found that to be very interesting, and I wonder if... I don't remember. I know that Arthur's spells on the Fort Anglia were like to enlarge like the back seat and the trunk. But I wonder if he was able to get to like squeezing through stuff and like jumping ahead of things. What do you guys think?
I feel like that's probably super duper advanced, and I don't know if that's something he would have been able to do just like in his backyard.
Okay.
That's I don't know.
What do you think?
I think he may have been pushing the limits of his wife's patience as it was, so maybe just making it a flying invisible car was
But
enough.
did she know about the process or did she know about the end result? Like, I wonder if he even tried.
Oh, yeah, you know what?
I wonder
you're
if
right.
he probably didn't even try because
I
like she was
don't
saying like,
Yeah.
if I do any more things to this car, which I'm not supposed to have, I'm not supposed to be doing these things anyways. My wife's like, here are the divorce papers. No, bro, don't do it.
Yeah, she was not a fan of him finding the loophole that he wrote.
Wouldn't it be funny if you just stopped it? She was not a fan of him. No. More love potion on boat.
Oh, maybe she puts it in his tea every night.
Oh my God.
No, somebody write that fanfic.
I'm just kidding. I don't think she actually used a love potion to get Arthur. I think they're genuinely in love.
Lerv?
Yeah.
All right. So the ministry car could even jump ahead of traffic at the
Amazing.
stoplights. And I said, I need this car.
So do I.
They arrive at the station with 20 minutes to spare. Hooray. And it makes me think, are they ever early?
Probably not.
There's too many kids to be early.
I can't, like, I'm trying to think of if they're ever really actually, like, early. Or if this is, like, the first time. Because I feel like they're always scrambling. But maybe they're early this time because A, they're not at their own house, they're not at the borough, and there's not, you know,
Well,
you keep
and
thinking
they-
like, oh, do I need this? Do I need this? I always do
Probably
that.
not as long of a drive.
And they themselves, though, are not like worrying about transportation. It's going to be there. Like the cars were picking them up at this certain time, and they knew they had to get there, and then the cars drove them.
Yeah, because they're
and-
counting on someone else rather than themselves.
Correct.
Yeah, I feel like you're right. Mr. Weasley continues to stick to Harry like glue, and since the events of last year, they have wised up because of Black being on the loose. I feel like two of those things go together because now they're going through to the platform in pairs. Arthur goes with Harry, and they fall through very casually. I just like how they were like just like leaning against the
yeah,
wall.
it showed a different way to get through than just like running.
Because I remember I was thinking, I was like back to 1, and she said it's easier to do it at a run if you're nervous. I would think the opposite. I think
I know.
your first time going through, especially for someone who's not been immersed in the magical world, running at a brick wall would be terrifying to me. I would much rather just like calm myself, lean against it, and go through. Even if I fell all the way down on the other side, I feel like it still would have been much less nerve-wracking for me.
Maybe it's like peeling off a Band-Aid. Just rip it off instead of, going slowly.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'd rather run. I still probably think it's more fun.
Well, let's lightning bolt it. You're going to run. What are you going to do? First time. Katie.
She's going to skip through.
Yeah.
She's gonna go on her hands.
I would probably run and then think that later on I should have been like, oh, maybe.
I'm gonna crab walk through.
I probably would run just because,
You'd
like,
run.
then you're not thinking about it as much.
I'm gonna
go.
pretend like I'm checking someone out and just like fall through.
I'd go butt first.
But first, you would.
Say goodbye to the muggle world as I'm like, peace out, people. Peace out, muggles.
Peace out, muggles.
Sucks, you can't go through this wall.
Sucks to suck, muggles. All right, Percy and Ginny come through next, and Percy, or I wrote Perce, immediately scurries off to be with his girlfriend, and his face has turned pink when he goes off to meet her. And I think this is a really cute moment. Harry and Ginny giggle together at seeing that. And I was like, ooh.
Let's pour one out for Percy's relationship with her because he marries someone else. What?
All high school relationships can't work out. Some do, some don't. All right. Harry and crew begin to head back to the back of the train to put their stuff away. Oh, look at that. I'll read from chapter that I'm not ready for. Here we go. Mrs. Weasley kissed all her children and then Hermione and finally Harry. He was embarrassed, but really quite pleased when she gave him an extra hug.
Aw.
Do take care, won't you, Harry? She said and straightened up, her eyes oddly bright. So you know that she's like hoping for the best this year. Mr. Weasley seems like he finally can't take it anymore and that he needs to talk to Harry. So I feel like Mr. Weasley and Harry were both feeling like the same kind of on edge feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They leave the group to go talk in a private location on the platform. He's very tense, and so Harry knows this, and he can feel it. And so to ease this for Arthur, Harry tells him that he already knows. He tells him that he's sorry for overhearing, and Arthur's pretty disappointed because he didn't want Harry to find out in that way, and he's probably a little embarrassed because he knows how that conversation went with Molly and how he was a little like...
Snippy.
It's an on-edge conversation.
Right.
And I don't know. But this way, Harry's like, it's fine because now you haven't broken your promise to Fudge. So all is well with that. And
All was well.
all is well. And Harry's like, no, seriously, it's okay. And Arthur's like, no, but you must be scared. And so Harry says, I'm not. And he said it sincerely because I don't know. I love how...
Do you think that he's not scared because like his whole life is like someone's trying to kill him?
Pretty much.
Probably.
But really,
What-
he only
but-
knows that after age 11.
But what is Sirius Black compared to
The
Voldemort?
Dursleys.
Or the Dursleys? So Harry says, I'm not scared in regards to being scared. He says, really? He added, because Mr. Weasley was looking disbelieving. I'm not trying to be a hero, but seriously, Sirius Black? He says this. Can't be worse than Voldemort, can he? Mr. Weasley flinched at the sound of the name, but overlooked it. Harry, I knew you were made of, well, stronger stuff than Fudge seems to think, and I'm obviously pleased that you're not scared, but... And he gets cut off because the train's going to leave. And Molly's freaking out. And so he says, listen, I want you to give me your word. And Harry interjects and says that I'll be a good boy and stay in the castle. Harry said gloomily. And he says, not entirely. And he's looking very serious at Harry. And more serious than Harry had ever seen. I understand that this is funny to my fellow hosts because they're children.
I never pretend I'm anything but.
That's true.
I
I'm
always
a
say
grown-up kid.
I always say
Oh, shameless plug!
I always say that I'm like a 12-year-old boy. I have that type of humor.
It's fine. I just know that I'm reading and I can like see all of you out of like my peripheral and you're all like,
I seriously can't help it.
oh, seriously. Okay. He says, Harry, swear to me you won't go looking for black. Looking is in italics. And he's just like, what? And there's a loud whistle. Guards are walking along the train, slamming doors shut. And he said, promise me, Harry, that whatever happens. And he goes, why would I go looking for someone I know wants to kill me? And he just says, swear to me that whatever you might hear, so we automatically know there's more to this story.
What could it be?
I don't know. I know, you guys. I have a lot of read from chapters.
Just seriously, though, I have anxiety over this.
So the
Trying to
train...
be over what?
Yeah.
That he's missing the train?
No,
She just wants to say seriously.
no, I was saying that I have anxiety.
you dork.
No, I was saying I have anxiety over like the situation that Harry's in.
Seriously.
Well, yeah.
Oh my god. I can't do this for a whole book.
I could do it for the next.
Let's be honest.
3.
We'll be looping around this a lot.
It's going to be a howling good time.
Were you aware, Wolf, we were going to do this?
I hope you pee your pants.
Oh, God.
Your face is as red as that cup. All right, so the train takes
good.
off, and Harry immediately wants to talk to Ron and Herm because there's so much to cover. And so they finally find a spot, and Ron says, "Go away, Ginny."
So mean.
I'm like, after the last year that she had, you're just going to be like, "Go away." And she's like, "Oh, that's nice." And I said, "The beginnings of sassy Ginny." And I said, now that she is in control of herself, she is coming into her own, and she's so much like Molly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you think that she's in control of all of her faculties this year?
I would say yes. Shout out to Mama O'Malley.
really.
All right.
Bear.
The only compartment that was open-ish had a man who was sleeping. And so
A sexy man.
it doesn't say that in the book.
I hope that they don't think he's sexy because
Hermione
that's
could.
a teacher. No.
She thought Lockhart
She thought
was
Lockhart was?
fine.
Yeah.
That's like a gross relationship, though.
I mean,
Well,
I
it
don't
doesn't
need
it's
anything
like
to
it's
happen.
like a kid crushing on someone who's older.
Right,
It's
like
not like
whenever
they
I
were
was-
crushing on her.
When I was like 9, I was crushing on Justin Timberlake, who was way older than me.
I still crush on JT.
Except his ramen hair. I can't.
I didn't like the ramen noodle hair.
I didn't like the ramen noodle hair.
I enjoyed the jean outfit.
I got ramen on my
boy.
head, but don't
All right,
ramen head.
no.
Call me JT.
People always wait for that. It's got to be in every episode. I hope you never forget to add something like that in every episode.
I'm
from
gonna
now
never
on.
talk again.
Prayers have been answered, y'all. Just kidding. I love you so much. Don't hurt me. I'm pregnant. Love you.
Look of
moving
daggers.
on. All right, so Harry wonders about this a bit, but the others don't seem to be as confused because there's an adult on the train. And it only seems like a little bit strange to them. But like when I was reading this, I was like, why weren't they more confused to see an adult other than the snack lady?
Probably because they know it's a professor because they read his logo.
Yeah, but
yeah,
at
but
this
they've never
point, they
seen
didn't.
another professor.
Why
Yeah,
did he
like-
take the train, though?
I don't know.
Maybe because he's got no money and that's what Joe wanted him to do.
Actually, he seems pretty tired. You know, like he actually sleeps through almost this whole thing. So maybe the moon's close and he doesn't have like a lot
he
of.
just got
he can't
through one.
apparate, huh?
Yeah,
Or
or
he
he
just
just got through one.
Yeah, he might not have enough energy to apparate.
That is a really good point.
He went
I know my
to
boy.
the moon every month.
Oh my gosh.
If he went to the moon, would he always be a werewolf?
Depends on which side.
A wolf of where? All right. So it says the stranger was wearing an extremely shabby set of wizard robes that had been darned in several places. What does that mean?
Like,
ripped?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. He looked ill and exhausted. I think he just got through a transformation.
I'm looking online. A lot of people speculate that.
Yeah.
I've just like 3 things that I've read are
what's-
he's probably tired for a reason and ill looking for a reason.
What
Yeah.
year was this? 93?
93?
93
Yeah,
to
93.
4. 93 to 94,
Okay.
yeah.
So this next line, though quite young,
Thank you.
Yep.
quite young. His light brown hair was flecked with gray. You missed 2 bells on your boy.
I'm paying attention to his
feel
She's
description.
she's very intrigued with what you're saying right now.
Okay. So who do we reckon he is? Professor R.J. Lupin.
Sexy beast.
I believe that the full moon is
Oh my
August
God!
31st.
Did you look at the calendar?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Sarah, I love you. Oh my gosh, it's literally the night before.
We are not worthy.
That matched up so well for her.
September 1st of 93.
Yes. Well, so
No,
August 31st,
August 31st
it's a
was-
Tuesday.
Oh,
Had a full moon.
Oh my god.
Well, this
Son of
was
a
this is
biscuit.
the New York American time. So let me look if I can see.
This blows my mind.
Are the full moons different? I guess that would make sense.
Are they?
I don't know how moons work.
I'm not like a moonologist.
Okay.
Anyways.
Well, so this one is saying that the full moon was. Is this for England though? Central European time or summertime, which I don't really know what that means. It says September 1st. So yeah, right around then is the full moon.
So it
I'm
would have
digging it.
been the night before or the next night.
Yeah. So I mean, if it depending on because I can't, time wise. So yeah, full moon. That's what he
Crazy.
looks like.
Crazy.
That's why he doesn't look his best.
My boyfriend's passed out.
He always looks his best.
Okay.
Just saying.
Those scars.
Whew.
All right. Herm is Herm when it comes to figuring out who he is, and Ron is Ron.
That is like the
I will say-
best explanation of that scene.
This reminds me. So when I went to Europe and I was, my cousin was like, I think she was a little annoyed that I was always saying random facts, and we were in Paris eating, and I was reading the sign behind her head, and I could read French a little bit, and I was like, oh, all of the potatoes from the fries that we're eating are made from potatoes that were grown in France. She's like, why do you know that? And I was like, I'm literally reading the sign behind your head. This is what this reminds me of. She's like, it's right, it's written right there.
All right. Harry goes on and he explains about what he heard about Sirius Black. And
He learns nothing. He's out for murder.
Long pause.
so in regards to Lupin, they're talking about like what position he's going to be, and she's like, well, it's obvious, defense against the dark arts, we don't have anybody. Obviously Lockhart is not able to do anything. And so Ron's like, well, I hope he's up to it. He looks like one good hex would finish him off, doesn't he? Which I feel bad because it just shows you how terrible that process is.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Harry explains about what happened with the conversation he overheard about Sirius Black, and they both seem to be more afraid of this than
he
Harry.
is. Yeah.
And I wonder if it's like Hermione's done her reading on him, and Ron probably knows the story from way back
But
when.
like, why wouldn't he tell him?
Huh?
Like, why wouldn't, if Ron knew the story, why wouldn't he tell Harry?
Well, maybe because he didn't know it was like related to Harry. Because when you think about it, it could just be like one of Voldemort's followers just killing a bunch of Muggles, right? It's not
but if
necessarily
he's-
related
I don't
to
think
Harry's
that they
story.
put all of the true information out to the public.
Well, they
Well,
did.
yeah,
Profit, we can't.
it's the media.
Yeah.
You know how the media is.
The media never lies.
So they're more scared of this than Harry. And Hermione's like, her hands are over her mouth. She's like, oh my God. And they can't believe that he's escaped to come after Harry. And she's like, you're going to need to be really careful. Don't go looking for trouble, Harry. That's another person that's already told him not to go looking for trouble. Although she says it not knowing the reason
right.
why Arthur said it.
Yeah.
And this is one of my favorite quotes, and I have it on a tank top. It says, I don't go looking for trouble, said Harry. Trouble usually finds me.
It's true.
And then we hear a noise. It's not that noise.
That's what a Dementor sounds like when they're sucking out your soul.
Well, we're not there yet.
You're getting
That's
there.
Katie's section.
What do you think a sneak of soap sounds like?
It's
A whistling.
It says whirring, so like
Does it sound like one of those weird tubes that you swirl around? your head?
yes.
And it goes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I wish you guys could see us. We're making the most terrible faces.
That's what I envision though.
Those are like summertime toys.
We bought one of those, and it scared the hell out of our cats, and we had to get rid of it. It was funny, but I
It
feel
was
bad.
funny for like a minute, and then they were like hated us. So
They
okay.
did for like hours.
So as you guys just heard, Harry's sneakoscope went off, So it's whirring as it's described. Ron claims that that's happening just because it's cheap.
Nah, bro.
But there's a reason. Do we know what it is?
Yes.
Crookshanks is an animagus, and he's a horrible person.
So Hermione immediately is like, Ron, were you doing anything untrustworthy at the time? And he said no. And then backtracked and was like, well, I wasn't supposed to use Errol. But that's not going to make it go off. So it's, spoiler alert, it's Scabbers. Every time the sneakoscope is around Scabbers, it's whirring. So
He is the most untrustworthy of untrustworthiness.
Rats.
he's a rat. So Ron suggests to Harry that, like, oh, well, when we're in Hogsmeade this year, we can take it to Dervish and Bings and have it checked out. They sell those kinds of things. And then this spurs this whole conversation about
I love
Hogsmeade.
this.
And it's just Ron and Hermione going back and forth talking about it. Ron is like, oh, there's this sweet shop. It's called Honeydukes. And then he is just like enamored with Honeydukes. I mean, going on about all the different things that you can get. And then here's Hermione interjecting. She's like, oh, well, I read about it in Sites of Historical Sorcery. And the inn was the headquarters for the 1612 Goblin Rebellion. The Shrieking Shack is supposed to be the most severely haunted building in Britain. Also, it is the only entirely non-Muggle settlement in Britain. So I thought that's cool.
I would live there.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm a muggle. They won't allow my kind.
But, womp womp, Harry can't go.
Sucks to suck.
And then immediately they're both like, what?
Yeah.
And Ron's like, just ask McGonagall. Somebody.
Honestly, like how shocked are they really the Dursleys didn't say?
Right, I know.
Well, like, and you just were told that Sirius Black is looking for him.
Yeah.
Like,
He's not going to be allowed out of the castle.
You can't go to Honeydukes.
Yeah.
Like,
and then, like, you find out Hermione later on is like, oh, it's probably a good thing.
I feel like that's SpongeBob meme.
Oh my god. Homeboy ain't leave the castle.
So he suggests McG could give him permission, or somebody else at the school, or they could ask Fred and George how to use secret passages. Hashtag foreshadowing.
Dun-dun-dun.
Hermione is very against all of this, though, because serious.
Then why are you
shocked? Why do
Yeah.
you care?
That reminds me of
Kermit the
Yeah.
Frog.
If anybody can envision, we're
they're
all
gonna
waving our hands above.
Somebody put a GIF or GIF, whatever you prefer.
no,
Of
it's pronounced
my Kermit the
Jif.
Frog arms, if you know what we're talking about.
It's pronounced Geif.
So after this conversation kind of fizzles because Hermione is like, no, don't do that. So Hermione lets Crookshanks out, and immediately he jumps onto Ron, yawns and stretches. But
See,
then
he wants to cuddle.
Scabbers, yeah. But then Scabbers starts trembling. Because that's a lie. He knows that Scabbers is untrustworthy.
Him. Yawns and stretches.
But Crookshanks really does have this like sixth sense about Scabbers throughout the whole book.
What did we say Crookshanks might be?
Ain't no
Part Kneasel.
He is part Kneasel.
No, but the other thing.
animagus.
Yeah, that's the
No.
that's the
I thought
There's some
Kneasel.
theories out there.
I've only heard
There's some-
Kneasel.
Keep going.
Well, maybe
Okay.
it's just fan fiction where
Fiction.
I'm just saying I've read fan fiction where like it's actually Regulus that is the cat, and that's why
That's cool.
Regulus and
So he's
Sirius.
not dead. He's a kitty Mew Mew.
Yeah.
I mean, who's to say, really? I'm just saying things I've read.
That's what I call my mom.
Who's the best cat in America?
Teddy.
Ignotus Peveril.
It's you, Jamper Damper. It's you. Have you guys never seen that?
No.
Who's the best cat in Scotland? It's you, Crookshanks. It's you.
I'm a cat.
No.
I'm a kitty cat.
And a meow 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 and a meow meow meow.
Kitty
Yep.
Mew Mew.
So Scabbers immediately starts trembling. And then
cares?
Ugh.
Ron shoves Crookshanks off of him, and he settles across the way and just kind of stares at Ron for the
I
whole ride.
love that he was shaking. That means he was scared.
Yeah.
Good.
He knew.
Ball.
He should have thrown Scabbers out the window, never to be seen again.
Catch you
Bye,
never.
boy.
Yeah.
Hope you die.
Hope you break your neck on the way down.
Now, if he died, would he turn back into his human?
Oh, I can't do this anymore.
No, legitimately.
I
like,
think he would.
I think he would.
Yeah.
Because, like, the magic.
Yeah,
would
the magic
wear
is
off,
gone.
You know what I mean?
he doesn't deserve magic.
No, he doesn't.
That is not being
He deserves
debated
a
here.
slow and painful death. Mm-hmm. Pull all his
Technically-
fingernails out.
He kind of
Jeez.
does have a little bit of a slow, painful death.
Yeah, he does.
He kills himself,
yeah,
essentially.
and he knows it.
Chokes himself.
He's realizing
So-
that he's gonna die.
Ugh,
You look like a
hate him.
Dementor right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
A what? We don't know what those are yet.
Oh, okay. Never
Yeah,
mind.
they don't call them that. And I don't think in this chapter.
They do in this
Isn't
chapter.
that
They're always the
last chapter?
guard.
Azban gods. Azban.
Who was it? What?
Azban.
You mean Alsban?
Go to Azban.
It's just like you're like Azban. Azban.
What do they call? What is where do the Norse gods live? What is that? Asgard. Sorry.
Asgard.
Yeah, that's where like
I
Thor
thought
is
you were going to
from.
ask about Alcatraz.
Yeah, I
IDK.
thought you were as well. All right, I
know.
can't find what I was thinking about Crookshanks.
Okay, so Draco and his cronies appear,
Ugh,
Cronies.
and God, it just,
makes me want to
he says, "Well, look who it is, Potty and the Weasel." Like, okay, you're 13,
Dude, those are
Mature.
hardcore,
It sounds-
awesome insults.
It
I don't know
Yeah.
what you're
like,
talking about.
It sounds
People-
like a band. Potty and the Weasel.
That'd be the best wizard rock band ever.
I'm sure they're out there. Let's see.
We'll make up some
If
songs.
not, it's us.
People like Draco make me want to vom. Is what I wanted to say.
Bombomb.com.
So I wanted to read their little interaction here. Why did it go away?
I think it's the next page. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, there's fan fiction
Malfoy
about
says,
Potty and Weasel.
Sweet.
I heard your father finally got his hands on some gold this summer, Weasley, said Malfoy. Did your mother die of shock?
What a jerk.
Ron stood up so quickly he knocked Crookshanks's basket to the floor. Professor Lupin gave a snort.
Still
Who's
coming
that?
in dog mode.
Said Malfoy, taking an automatic step backward as he spotted Lupin. New teacher, said Harry, who got to his feet too, in case he needed to hold Ron back. What were you saying, Malfoy? Malfoy's pale eyes narrowed. He wasn't fool enough to pick a fight right under a teacher's nose. Come on, he muttered resentfully to Crabbe and Goyle, and they disappeared. Harry and Ron sat back down, Ron massaging his knuckles. I'm not going to take any crap from Malfoy this year, he said angrily. I mean it. If he makes one more crack about my family, I'm going to get a hold of his head and... Ron made a violent gesture in midair. Ron, hissed Hermione, pointing at Professor Lupin. Be careful. But he was still fast asleep.
Oh, so cute.
Tired.
And then suddenly the train starts slowing and everybody's peeking their heads out of the compartments looking around and the lights go out.
The lights
So
went
that's
out
scary.
on the Hogwarts train.
And then somehow Neville and Ginny find their way into the compartment and then suddenly Lupin is awake. Hiya, Bay.
What's his first word? Anybody know? You know. Anybody know? No, you can't look.
What? What's
Katie,
Lupin's
marry
first
me.
word. That'd be amazing. Sorry, Megan.
Nimble
That's
Wimble.
all right. She'll leave you
Quiet.
for Taylor Swift, and you'll leave her for Remus Lupin.
Right.
Quiet.
Quiet.
Well, why are you leaving us hanging?
What?
She
I said quiet.
Quiet. And be quiet.
Oh my god.
Okay, it's your turn, Katie.
I need to precursor myself here because I love this character so much. I need to apologize to everybody because I'm probably going to be annoying. And
Really
side
biased.
note, yeah, you know, and
Really, like, honestly, though, who legitimately hates Lupin? Is there anybody?
Tiffany.
Oh my god! Like, I don't think
We're
that
now
there's-
in need of a new Gryffindor because she's out.
Yeah,
like, I mean, I know that he made a bad decision in Deathly Hallows, but
No.
like, who legitimately hates him?
He's a totally
It's-
likable
Oh
guy.
my gosh.
like,
Well,
it's not like Sirius where he's controversial in any way, shape, or form.
Well,
like,
I mean, he's
Lupin,
a little bit, but again, he was he was young. You know what I mean? He changed.
right.
And was he ever really? He was never the bad one out of the group.
No, but he
I mean,
did,
if we're being 1,000%
he did
honest, Peter's
sit
the worst.
back
Sit back and quiet.
and
You
let
know.
it happen.
Yes.
But he had his damaged reasons for
Yes.
doing that.
I mean, everybody has damaged reasons, but out of all of
I just love him so
I mean,
much.
James, Sirius, and Peter did so much for him. This is like
Makes me wanna
conversation
cry.
for a Felix Files.
All right, moving on.
but I have to say, okay, you know, in your text messages where it suggests words to you,
Yes.
Okay, I literally don't just verbally talk about Remus so much. I talk about him so much in text that I typed Remus and it suggested John Lupin to me.
It did. Legitimately, it did.
Multiple
she
times.
showed me.
Yeah.
So this is just a random question about Remus Lupin. Who do you think, did he buy that briefcase or whatever that has Professor R.J. Lupin on it, or did someone else buy it for him?
Well, it's an old briefcase, so I feel like he just added the word professor to it when he got the job.
Magic.
Because he's
he
proud of
feels
it.
cool.
He probably, what's he been doing? You know what I mean?
This is going to
couldn't
make
really
me
This is
have
like
cry.
his only chance at having like a real position because of who he is.
He just did like odd jobs until like
Yeah,
he
I would
couldn't
be
anymore
freaking-
because
I'd
they're
put
like, why are
Professor
you?
on there.
Thanks to Umbridge, this is his only gig. Because she has blocked legislation to let him be able to have a job in every other way.
Let's pause for a moment and really just let's thank Dumbledore for giving him the position.
Honestly.
No, you
You're
know
really
what? Let's
stretching
thank
here.
Remus for being the cool dude that he is.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Let's
He
thank
deserves
Remus for...
He deserves a whole bottle to be poured out for him. That's how amazing he
He
is.
deserves like 10 bottles.
Let's just sing about Remus. He's a cool dude.
What's
He's
Remus's
a
The,
drink?
the first single from
No,
Potty and the Weasel.
what's Remus's drink?
I'd say whiskey on the rocks.
Something
Rocks?
hot
No.
chocolate
Definitely hot chocolate.
with Baileys.
Alcohol.
But I think
I think he wants a little bit of brandy.
Bourbon for sure.
Yeah, but whiskey and bourbon are very similar. It's just the way
I
that
would
you
say-
make it and where it's made.
I would say whiskey just because he hung around Sirius for so
Well,
long.
because there's
I think
whiskey.
whiskey.
Scotch, and bourbon are all made similarly.
Oh, I feel like he might be a Scotch drinker.
And Scotch is made in Scotland. Bourbon, I
Wine-
believe, is made in.
Lagavulin. He's gonna drink Lagavulin.
Is that
don't even
the
know what
stuff that
that
they
is.
made him? Oh no! Has he ever had that?
Oh yeah.
Has he liked it?
It's disgusting. He loves it. It smells like trash.
Now, do you think he would
Trash on
try?
his
Do you think he drinks his? I think any of those I would be okay with him drinking. You know, a bourbon, a Scotch, or a whiskey.
yeah.
I kind of agree. I think Scotch or bourbon more so than whiskey, if I'm honest. Do you think he drinks it on the rocks or
No.
neat?
Just neat.
Think a twist of anything?
Nope. He's a straight lace guy.
I don't know. Maybe
He's
a
not
twist of
getting
lime
fancy.
every fortnight. You
I
know,
feel like he's not getting fancy at all.
or like
I feel like if he goes a little far out,
Oh.
he's gonna get like an old fashioned.
you know what I think his drink is?
yeah, yeah, an old fashioned.
Wolfsbane.
We've never done that before.
That's amazing.
Just with my voice.
For me.
No.
My legs are so far to put this baby.
All right, let's go
Oh
into
my God.
Katie's little tidbits about
Yellow.
All right. So,
yellow.
Yeller.
So Remus wakes up and he goes to get up, I think to like maybe talk to the driver or something. He says, "Stay where you are," and he magics a handful of fire. I mean, that's amazing.
So this reminds me of Hermione and her little balls of
Yeah.
fire.
Yes. So
I was gonna say, goodness gracious, great blue.
I wasn't gonna say that part, but yeah.
oh boy. So he goes to leave, but the door slid open before he could reach it.
Ruh-roh.
Standing in the doorway, illuminated by the shivering flames in Lupin's hand, was a cloaked figure that towered to the ceiling. Its face was completely hidden beneath its hood. Harry's eyes darted downward, and what he saw made his stomach contract. There was a hand protruding from the cloak, and it was glistening, grayish, slimy looking, and scabbed like something dead that had decayed in water.
I like can picture that so vividly.
Oh, I know. I've had the same picture in my head ever since the first time I've read this.
Does his face or I don't know if it's a he. Do their face look similar to that? Like I know we don't really ever see.
I think.
But do you think they're just like a
sure.
slimy, gross gray?
Oh, I'm sure. Well, Harry sees that at the end of the book
I guess it's true.
because he almost gets
the kid.
kissed.
That's what they sound like when they suck your soul.
But the hand was only visible for a split second. As though the creature beneath the cloak sensed Harry's gaze, the hand was suddenly withdrawn into the folds of its black cloak. And then the thing beneath the hood, whatever it was, drew a long, slow, rattling breath, as though it was trying to suck something more than air from its surroundings. An intense cold swept over them all. Harry felt his own breath catch in his chest. The cold went deeper than his skin. It was inside his chest. It was inside his very heart. So I was talking to Meg about this maybe earlier today. Again, reading this as an adult and knowing that J.K. Rowling truly pooled real life experience of depression for this, it just makes it so much more real and scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. So, Dementor profile, just straight from Pottermore. Appearance, shaped like humans, covered in dark hooded cloaks. Skin resembles that of a gray rotting body. Magic abilities, though they're blind, they can sense and feed on positive feelings, draining their victim's happiness. Yes.
Are they born in a cloak?
I don't know.
Are they actually born?
They
Are
do
they-
breed.
But like,
That's mentioned at some point.
is the cloak like? Does it just like all come in one, or do they have to go buy cloaks?
you see a Dementor striding into Madame Malkin's?
Welcome to Dementors, cloaks included. Or do you think that
I've never thought about this.
maybe they're just naked and that's like what they have?
I feel like maybe it looks like baby Voldy.
Oh, I was just gonna say, the part where he's like coming out of the cauldron and then
But like,
the
who's handing out
black comes
clothes?
over him.
Oh, it's just like magic.
Yeah.
Okay, well, when in doubt, it's magic.
It's magic.
Did you ever see that drawing where it's like if someone wonders who cooks at Azkaban and then they have a little Dementor
Yes.
in like oven mitts and it says "Kiss the cook"? So cute.
Oh my god, that's
Like if a Dementor could be cute, that would be it.
Right.
Typical habitats: Azkaban,
I don't know what
Fog.
that is.
Azkaban.
Thank you.
Where else do you think they live? Like, do they just live? I mean, I think we hear this from Remus
Probably-
later.
Where do they
but
go
cities
after they like get
and
kicked
stuff.
out of Azkaban?
Did they ever get
With-
kicked out?
Yeah,
I
after
think
they,
that they're like in the
Voldy.
countryside because
What if
they
they're
say
at Malfoy
something.
Manor?
They say
No, but
something.
I'm saying like all after all of that because like they stopped using them after the war.
I think that the countryside, because they, at least the part, like whenever whenever Azkaban is like taken over by the Death Eaters and they're in control, the Dementors are breeding, and I believe that it's like the countryside is like covered in fog.
Yeah, because
So
it's
I'm
in
guessing-
the news, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
guessing that's where they go.
I would assume they go where the people are, so they can.
I want to be
Where the people are.
I want to see their horror stories.
Screaming.
I want to see when they're really sad. I'm gonna suck their souls out.
Second single.
Soul sucking. People are gonna be looking for an album.
Up where they laugh, up where they smile.
I'm gonna turn all that into frowns and sadness.
Beverly, please write us a Dementor song to part of your world.
Or anything. Beverly, you're amazing.
Something about like, you know how Ariel wants to have legs, Dementors just want to have like souls. You know?
Dementors just want to have souls.
Oh, Dementors want to have souls.
Or two girls just want to have fun.
Yeah.
And the choice is yours.
Oh my
Whichever's
god.
easiest.
We want both.
Oh my god. She's having no life except writing us songs.
I won't lie, Beverly. My favorite song you ever did was my song.
Yes.
I literally, I want to have it typed up and make it really pretty and, frame it and put it on my wall because
It was amazing.
I, had tears in my eyes. It was so good.
It was really good.
Bev, the next step here is for you to record these for us so that we
Amen.
can put them in the podcast as actual music.
Yeah.
That'll be the outro music, you know?
Yeah.
All right, back to not happy things.
Okay.
So I found a article off Pottermore that said why Dementors are the scariest magical creatures.
I totes agree.
I do too. They're legitimately the stuff of nightmares. They make you relive your worst trauma, like literally the absolute worst things in your memory, and they force you to only think of that and nothing else. So it literally drags you down. They don't care who you are or what you've done. They can see through tricks and disguises.
Unless you're an animagus.
That's true. Yes,
What about the invisibility cloak?
they can see through it.
The Hallow?
Huh? Oh, the
maybe
real
not-
true
maybe not
one?
that one.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I like
Probably
that.
not.
I bet you're right.
I think no. Because if death can't find you,
Yeah.
nor can a Dementor.
True.
But I think only that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. This says they make other creatures look nice. While spiders, dragons, and giants may be big and shudderific. That's a quote from Pottermore.
I don't know who that is. I don't know who you are as a writer, but yes.
What's with Grop and his perpetually runny nose anyway? The Dementors make them look positively cuddly. And then they go into the Dementor's kiss, which this isn't funny. I don't know why I'm laughing, but they talk about when Harry does go to get a Dementor's kiss, and they say, "Oh, and on top of everything else, this is one creature sorely in need of a breath mint."
Hold on, it says here, where there should have been eyes, there was only thin, gray, scabbed skin stretched blankly over empty sockets.
Yeah.
But there was a mouth, a gaping, shapeless hole sucking the air with the sound of a death rattle. He could smell the Dementor's putrid, death-cold breath filling his own lungs, drowning him.
I wonder when she says death rattle. So when someone is actually
Yeah.
dying, it's called like they have a way that they're breathing, and I wonder if that to her is what it sounds like. Is what the Dementors.
Possible.
Yeah.
Do you think
No.
that well, that's obvious. Do you think that becoming, because it appears that they have human-like form, correct? Mm-hmm. Do you think this is like the end result for people who are horrible?
Like really
Because
bad
let's
people.
look at what becomes of Voldemort. Now, I know he had 7 Horcruxes,
And they breed in the time of war.
but still, I wonder if this is the outcome of horrible people.
Yeah, that's a good
thought.
That's a good thought.
Yeah.
You know what I didn't remember until rereading this was that the person doesn't die when they just get their soul sucked
Yeah.
out, and then they could still
just a
be.
shell.
Mhm. They walk
Total
around like
shell.
a husk, pretty much.
How horrible.
I mean, they say it's worse than death.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, just kill me.
It's crazy.
If I am ever, guys, I need you to make a pact right here now. If the Dementors ever suck my soul out like that, just,
Put your body away.
yeah, you know.
Same.
Feed you to Eric.
he did.
Aragog.
R.I.P. pouring
Pouring
out.
out.
King of the arachnids.
Body will decay.
But his spirit lingers on.
Oh my gosh.
We're like way ahead of ourselves. And finally, quote, the Dementors win the award for most loathsome creatures ever, TM.
There's a trademark.
Because Voldemort sees them as natural allies, so they're just automatically in cahoots with the baddies.
He being Voldemort just leeches onto every despicable creature possible.
Anything he can use. Mm-hmm. He's a user.
Literally anything, but this is like a given to him, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh, that works exactly for
Yeah.
my mission.
But I bet you, like, if their views didn't align, the Dementors would be like, nah, bro. Like,
Well, they liked him because they were giving he was giving them what they wanted, which was souls. How many souls in the Second War did they take?
how many in general in the First War?
But was he using them? He wasn't using them in the First War,
Yeah,
was
but
he?
like, could they just go and do their own thing?
I don't think so. They were still under Ministry control. I'm saying when they were like loyal to Voldemort, like it was like free for all. Like
Yeah.
let's just go. And so I wonder how many people. I mean, think about all the Muggles. Even all the
Yeah.
Muggles are the people that
Do you
go
think-
crazy and have to go into like homes or I don't know. Are asylums still a thing?
No.
But anywhere where people you know that people they're not in their right minds.
Do you think that Muggles
You
taste
know?
different to them than wizards?
Maybe less sweet. I'm not sure.
I don't think
Magical
that they
blood
care
is a little
either way,
different.
though.
No, but like I wonder, like if they just have a different taste, like because
I don't know if they
What if
actually
they're sad?
taste.
Like, does different sadnesses taste like different things? It's such a weird thought.
I don't know.
I love that, though. I don't love it, but it's a cool thought. I love the thought.
loves the thought of tasting souls. Shocking.
I love
Or,
me a
like, do
soul
girls
snack.
Do guys taste different than ladies? Like, or do kids taste different than adults? Like,
face.
Like, does Harry's soul taste different to him than like Sirius's soul? Because they've both been through different things. You know what I mean?
I have no idea.
Things to think about.
I'm not a soul connoisseur.
Person food for thought.
Anyway.
Who knew there'd be so much to talk about with
Who knew?
Dementors?
So poor Harry, his eyes rolled up into his head. He can't see. He's drowning in cold. He hears this rushing in his ears, and he feels like he's being dragged down. And he hears this screaming from far away. Terrible, terrified, pleading screams. And such the Gryffindor, his first thought, even though he's like going through this traumatic experience, is that he needs to help this person. But he can't move because he has a thick white fog swirling around and inside him. So he wakes up to someone slapping his face, which always kind of made me laugh. He realizes the lights are back on. He can feel the train moving because he fell out of his seat and he's on the floor. He feels pretty sick. He's sweaty. He's clammy. Ron's pretty nervous looking at him and asks if he's okay. And Harry's like, yeah, but who screamed? And Ron's even more nervous and he's like, no one screamed. So first Harry's hearing voices in his head last year and now he's hearing screaming in his head. So Lupin gives them all chocolate and tells them, eat, it'll help.
Love it.
And so I wanted to look up, like, why chocolate? So on Pottermore, there's a tiny little thing. It just says mood-enhancing properties of chocolate are well known in both Muggle and Wizard worlds. Chocolate is the perfect antidote for anyone who is overcome in the presence of Dementors. And I pulled... Oh, this was cool. Oh, wait, no, I didn't get to that yet. Hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. So eating chocolate does release endorphins in your body, which does enhance your mood. Dementors are a metaphor for depression, which Rowling herself has suffered from. So perhaps chocolate was a great way to help Rowling in her darkest hours. And I looked up the health benefits of chocolate, because why not?
Chocolate.
There's 7 health benefits of chocolate. Better mood, makes you eat less, healthy heart.
That is false because I eat so much more.
I love
And again, I think this is like dark chocolate.
Oh, yes.
Glowing skin and sun protection. It can lower inflammation, and it's a prebiotic and anti-aging.
Woo!
Now, is it anti-aging if you eat it or if you put it on your skin?
So
Just
I
do
gotta
both.
rub
It's
it
wonderful.
on my face.
Do I need to have a chocolate
My
mask?
face?
Because you know what? I wouldn't, and then I'd lick it off.
You do you.
Look at it.
So I found this, I don't know where, I wish I remembered, and I don't know if it's real fact or what, but I really liked it. Chocolate presents no danger to werewolves, despite the well-known fact that chocolate is poisonous to canines, showing that the human form of a werewolf has traits that carry over into the wolf form aside from
The more humanized.
Yeah. Ironically, Remus Lupin is noted for his borderline addiction to chocolate. So Harry asks, what was that thing? And we find out, yes.
Do you think that he's addicted to chocolate because he's battling his own Dementors?
I would
That's
think
demon.
probably not
definitely
helping.
plays
yeah.
a role in it.
Sad tweet.
So Eric,
Especially
Harry-
leading up to his position at Hogwarts, because he literally has like nothing until this point.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Sorry.
It's a sad section. Sorry, Katie.
It's okay. So we learned that it was in fact a Dementor and that they are the guards of Azkaban.
Owls, Caban.
Azkaban.
Yeah.
Do owls have Dementors?
Probably.
Owl mentors?
Owl mentors.
So Lupin leaves to speak to the driver, and Harry asks what happened. So Herm says the Dementor just stood there, looked around, or at least she thinks it did because you can't see its face. And Ron says he thought Harry might have been having a fit or something because he went rigid, fell out of his seat, and started twitching. And then Remus pulled out his wand, told the Dementor none of them were hiding Sirius Black under their cloaks, muttered something, and a silver thing shot out of his wand, and it turned around and glided away. Neville said it was horrible. Did you feel the cold? How cold it got when it came in? Ron says he felt weird, like I'll never be cheerful again. Ginny was huddled in a corner crying, so Herm went to comfort her. And Harry awkwardly asks if any of them had fallen out of their seats.
Poor Harry.
I know. I feel really bad. Like he has to be so embarrassed.
How
But
do you guys think that you would react to a Dementor?
Oh my God. I don't know.
Like, you know, I mean, like Ginny is crying. Ron just has that overwhelming feeling of dread. Neville just felt the coldness.
That's a deep question.
I know. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
It's a deep question.
I'd probably be like Ron.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd
feel like
be.
you'd
I mean,
never
because
be happy.
if it's like, if she's saying this is how like you might feel when you're depressed, for sure I'd probably be Ron.
I'd be between Ron and Ginny, like because Ginny was like shaking like crazy. I'd be on the verge of crying.
I would probably be between Ron and Neville.
I feel
Maybe
like
Harry.
I would probably be a combination of Ron and Ginny too, depending on the day or the moment that it happened, you know? Just depending on like what I'm thinking about or what has happened recently or like who knows.
Yeah. Tiffany's in the bathroom, so that's why she's not answering this question.
Tiffany. So Harry he just doesn't understand. He feels all weak and shivery as though he's recovering from a bad bout of flu.
Oh, that feeling is just the worst. I hate that feeling.
And he's also feeling the beginnings of shame. So he is embarrassed because why had he gone to pieces like that and no one else had? Harry, don't worry. We'll find out soon.
I'll give you a hug.
I'll give you a bigger hug.
So no one had eaten their chocolate by this time when Lupin came back, and he's like, I promise I didn't poison it. So Harry took a bite and to his great surprise felt warmth spread suddenly to the tips of his fingers and toes. You stole my idea. Hold on, I'm getting to it. Tiffany just came down a little piece of chocolate. So Lupin says we'll be at Hogwarts in 10 minutes. And asked Harry if he was all right, and Harry doesn't even bother asking how he knew his name. And I was gonna say, before Tiffany stole my thunder, it would be really inappropriate if I didn't give homage to my main man.
We get a whole bar from
whole
Katie.
bar.
Not
Where's
just one little
Band-Aid?
bite, Tiffany.
No, I love it. It's so cute. We had the same idea.
This says, be
you-
the best of you, Mom. That's what my
Tiffany
dog
gave
Candy
us
said.
Dove chocolates.
I gave them I came back. I had to go to the bathroom.
We told
as
them.
always. And I brought back little pieces of Dove chocolate.
Tiffany, how would you react to a Dementor?
Oh yeah, that was
You
a
missed
question.
that question.
How would I react?
Like, okay, so Katie was talking how, like, Ron said he felt like he would never be cheerful again. Neville focused on how cold he felt. Ginny was crying in the corner. And then Harry
passed out.
What did Hermione do?
I would
I don't think it
probably.
says.
Well, it doesn't
I
say.
would
She just
probably
comforted Ginny.
feel like sick to my stomach. Like
Like
Yeah.
bread?
yeah,
That anxiety that you can feel in your
similar to
stomach.
Ron,
That's what I
but
said.
like I don't know.
This is a deep,
Yeah.
personal question.
It is a personal
Yeah.
question, but like I don't know. Just
I'm
like,
not asking what you would see. I'm just asking
no,
like,
just
how
like
you would feel.
sick to my stomach. Like I guess similar to how like I felt like when I found out like grandparents had passed.
Just a horrible feeling.
Just you know, when your stomach just kind of just
Gets naughty and
yeah.
I just know from my own personal life, being sad sucks.
well, yeah.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah.
How you feel after that chocolate, though? I mean, I feel good.
Well done, Katie.
I
Feel
need
good. No,
another.
well done, you.
Well done.
Props to both the Gryffindor and the Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
Woo, woo, woo.
High five across the table.
I need to put my foot on you.
Okay.
You want the chair or
I
me?
want it warm under your leg.
Okay.
How's that?
It's good.
So they finally make it to Hogsmeade. They get off the train onto the platform. They see Hagrid corralling the first years.
Corralling.
Go into these voices. Do you even realize you do that? No. There really isn't time to talk to him because he's rushing the first years off in one way, and they're kind of being rushed off in the other way, other direction. So they see there are about 100 stagecoaches waited to take students up to the castle, being pulled by what Harry assumes is an invisible horse. And dude, you're wrong.
But he's kind of close. They are horse-like.
And they're
They're not.
invisible.
Well, I
invisible
guess
to
they're
him now.
invisible now. Yeah.
That's sad.
And off they go into their third year of Hogwarts.
I wonder who can see them now.
Sorry, I was opening my chocolate bar.
So Harry sees the Dementor
Very
stationed
Hufflepuff.
at the gate of Hogwarts, which is magnificent wrought iron gates flanked with stone columns topped with winged boars. And then I was like trying to find out if winged boars meant anything, and there's not a crazy amount on the internet. So I was also like looking at boars. One person was like, a boar is a pig.
Yeah.
Pig is a hog. Hog wards.
Pig farts.
Pig farts.
I like
I will
that.
say,
That's pretty good.
My own personal tidbit on boars. My family crest, the O'Malley family crest, it has just a red boar in the middle of the shield. And so I wanted to see if that meant anything, but like a boar is a representation of being a warrior. And the clan of O'Malley, they rule by land and sea.
Maybe they're supposed to like
clone
be
of the
guardians of Hogwarts.
Yeah. Well, and then so this person was saying, and this is, I'll attach it to the doc. It's someone's live journal and it says reader Ravenclaw. And at one point they're like, well, it's kind of like you take a winged boar is like pigs fly. And there's the saying like, oh, this will happen when pigs can fly. So pigs flying is almost like the impossible or like a representation of the impossibility stuff.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
Going to Hogwarts and learning magic, like that's
Yeah.
almost like something impossible, like to you even think of.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, that's great.
Really cool.
So yeah, I think that's really cool. So yeah, to the skate. Blip, 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
So once it gets to the gates, the stagecoach picks up speed, and they finally come to a halt. What I think is great is it tells you how Hermione was like watching out the window, and I would be the same way when I'm like in a car and I'm not driving. I like to watch, like stare out the window. I do this on planes as well. So they come to a halt, they get out, and Malfoy, of course, is being a grade A jerk, asking if Harry actually fainted because Neville, the good friend, is telling everyone that he did.
Neville.
Then, Ron tries to defend him. So then Malfoy was like, oh, did you faint too? So he's getting all prepared to be the lame person that we all know he is. But then Lupin comes in and is like, dude, there's a problem. He's like, no, whatever. So Malfoy...
Direct quote from the book.
Yeah. No, so like Malfoy leaves because he doesn't like the way that he gives essentially like Lupin like the stink eye because he doesn't respect him.
Which one my father hears.
Because the drab looking professor, he does not give respect and he knows he
it's
could
less
get in
than
trouble if he continues to goad the trio. So they're about to enter the Great Hall, but Hermione and Harry are called by McG. So Harry's immediately like, oh shoot, what did I do this time? Like, I haven't even really set foot in the school and I'm already being called to the teacher's office.
I didn't fly a car this year. What do you want?
I thought the whole thing with Aunt Marge is blown over.
Oh my God.
You're welcome. So he doesn't have a good track record with feasts anyways, as we know. So McGee tells him, she's like, I just want to talk to you guys, like, don't worry. And then she's like, dude, Mr. Weasley, go to the hall. Like, you're not coming with us. You're not cool.
Go away, Ron.
Yeah. Ooh. You're not wanted. So
Karma.
They go to their office. She tells them that Lupin let her know what happened on the train. He had sent an owl from the train. And before Harry really can answer, Madame Pomfrey arrives to check and make sure Harry is okay.
Does he have an owl? Where do you get an owl?
I was thinking
guessing
maybe
one
they
of the
have one just in
students
case.
On the train.
Oh, yeah, and the
Could be an
students.
emergency one though too.
Like little reserved owls. They have their own like compartment.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Ready to fly.
At your service, Professor.
All right, so
I don't know.
Right from Azkaban. Ready to go.
Harry felt himself going red in the face. It was bad enough that he'd passed out or whatever he had done, but without everyone making all this fuss. I'm fine, he said. I don't need anything. Oh, it's you, is it? Said Madame Pomfrey, ignoring this and bending over to stare closely at him. I suppose you've been doing something dangerous again. It was a Dementor, Poppy, said Professor McGonagall.
Poppy.
They exchanged a dark look, and Madame Pomfrey Madame Pomfrey clucked disapprovingly. Setting Dementors around his school, she muttered, pushing Harry's hair back and feeling his forehead. He won't be the first one who collapses. Yes, he's all clammy, terrible things they are, and the effect they have on people who are already delicate. I'm not delicate, said Harry coarsely.
Oh, Harry.
So we get from this little interaction that neither one of them are a fan of the Dementors being at Hogwarts, and we all know that Dumbledore's also not a fan. And so he's like, he won't be the last. Pomfrey's like, he won't be the last one to faint because of these things, or to be affected by them. And then McGee's like, well, what does he need to feel better? What do we need to do? And Pomfrey's like, chocolate at the least. And then luckily for him, he's like, no, Lupin already gave me some, and the other students that were on the train. And Pomfrey is surprised in a good way and says, so we finally got a defense against the dark arts teacher who knows his remedies.
Yeah, that's
we
right.
do.
Yeah.
So do you think that Lupin has like chocolate at the ready all the time? For
Yes.
Oh,
himself?
yeah.
Well, so we were discussing
Yep.
this pre you coming back downstairs.
Oh, sorry.
No, like I wonder because she said that he's like a chocolate addict. Do you think it's because he has a lot of demons himself?
He just keeps it like
Yeah.
like medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe he knew that
thing.
the Dementors were going to be there anyway, so he brought extra chocolate because he knew people were going to need it. Who knows?
That's true too. I mean,
I feel like he
preparing.
always has a stash of it.
I would agree.
especially for himself. But
I wonder
maybe
if
he
he's,
just
like-
had some more this time because he knew.
Because he gave a whole bar, didn't he, to Harry?
I think.
So, like, but I wonder how he felt like, oh, that's one less bar I get to eat for myself. He's like, but this is James's kid, so I'll give it
And
to
he's
him.
right by Honeydukes this year. You know.
Yeah,
And he
Yeah.
has a job and he's going to get paid, so it's all good.
it's true.
Yeah.
So reassuring them, he feels fine. He waits in the hall for them to be done talking with Hermione. And once they're all done, the three of them make their
wonder
way
what
to
they're
the
talking
great
about.
hall.
What I missed?
Three of them.
Because you're eating. That's
Make
the
their
only
way
reason why.
to the hall for the feast. They missed the sorting. So really, this is the Harry. The only sorting Harry has ever been to was his own.
So far, yeah.
So we're reminded that the sorting hat sorts students into the houses that suits them best. So you have Gryffindor and Slytherin, Hufflepuff, and then the best house of all, which is Ravenclaw. So Harry finally feels calm after everything that has happened on the train when he looks at Dumbledore and he's like, "Bro, we got this." Sorry.
Also a direct quote. What was Malfoy's quote?
Similar to Chandler Bing quotes.
Yeah, really.
Katie, why did you buy a king-size chocolate bar? 'Cause
That's all
I'm
they had.
eating it.
I'm sorry.
So he.
Because Remus would do that.
Are you ready for his?
I'm
speech?
ready.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I'm ready.
So he's like, welcome to another year at Hogwarts. I have a few things to say to you all, and one of them is very serious. I think it is best to get it out of the way before you become befuddled by our excellent feast. He says, as you will all be aware after their search of the Hogwarts Express, our school is presently playing host to some of the Dementors of Azkaban, who are here on the Ministry of Magic business. Business. They are stationed at every entrance to the grounds, and while they are with us, I must make it plain that nobody is to leave school without permission. Dementors are not to be fooled by tricks or disguises, or even invisibility cloaks. He added blandly, and Harry and Ron glanced at each other. It is not in the nature of a Dementor to understand pleading or excuses. I therefore warn each and every one of you to give them no reason to harm you. I look to the prefects and our new head boy and girl to make sure that no student runs afoul of the Dementors. And then he's
Percy
like,
puffs out his chest.
Oh, Percy, you tool.
so then he like goes on to talk after the Dementor talk. He announces that they have two new students. They have more than two new students.
Only two.
They have two new teachers. So Remus Lupin is the new defense against the new Dada teacher. Finally a good teacher for Defense Against the Dark Arts. And then Hagrid's going to be teaching care of magical creatures. Go Hagrid! Woo,
Yeah.
woo! So he announces Lupin. Harry and Ron look at Snape, and it says, and I read, even Harry, who hated Snape, was snartled. What is wrong with me?
I'm snartled.
Even Harry, who hated Snape, was startled at the expression twisting this.
His?
Then.
Twisting this thing.
All right, I'm going to start that over.
Thin, I
thin.
believe.
So even Harry, who hated Snape, was startled at the expression twisting his thin, sallow face. It was beyond anger. It was loathing. Harry knew that expression only too well. It was the look Snape wore every time he set eyes on Harry. I'm just going to sit that right there, and then I'm going to go and have a sip of my water.
She's sipping tea.
Yeah.
Sorry to all of you don't
And
know what
I literally
tea
wrote,
means.
interesting.
IDK.
So, and then he goes on to talk about the care of magical creatures, how Professor Kettleburn wanted to retire to spend some time enjoying his remaining limbs. Don't they say Grubbly Plank in the movie? Mm-hmm. Why change the name?
I don't know.
Grubbly Plank is like
Grubbly
the
Plank
sub
shows up
later on.
later.
Yeah, but
Just
I don't know.
It's dumb changes like that that kind of annoy me the most.
Yes, I
You know what
agree.
annoys me the most? Blue and bronze, man. Blue and bronze.
I'm never gonna get over it.
No.
You want to know what annoys me? Green eyes.
He was allergic to the contacts.
I don't care.
CGI it. or whatever.
I'll give him eye
I don't know how
tattoos.
movies work.
Okay, listen.
I don't know how moons or movies work.
If Harry couldn't have green eyes, that's fine. But make his mom's eyes match his?
That awkward moment
Didn't
when
she
you
have
don't
brown
have your
eyes?
mother's
Yeah.
eyes.
I like the one where he's got like the jacked up look on his face.
And then they found the one. Yeah. Okay, and then so Hagrid has taken over the job of care of magical creatures, and really, who better than him? We all know that he's a lover of those creatures, sometimes in detriment to other things, but I just love me some Hagrid.
This was a very creature-filled year with defense against the dark arts and magical creatures.
I just
They
feel
learned a lot.
I really wish that Hagrid would have had a little more guidance in his courses, because I feel like he could have really been like really good and not
Well,
so dangerous.
I don't even think the first one was dangerous if the students were listening.
No, that one's not dangerous. I mean,
Students.
we get into blasting and scroots and all this other stuff. Like, I feel like I wish Dumbledore would have taken him and been like, hey, let's talk about creatures. What kind of creatures do you think that each grade should learn about? And let's not invent some shiz.
But Dumbledore's also the same man that hired Gilderoy Lockhart.
Who's the only man,
Only
for, the
man
job?
Clearly, Remus Lupin was sitting around waiting for a
I don't
job.
think he said yes.
I think he was in the
I think he was
underground.
probably
Just-
asked.
Saying.
Guarantee you, I bet
probab-
you he was asked then, and he was like, no.
He wasn't ready.
Yeah. Everything in its time. So the Gryffindor table made a lot of noise for Hagrid. Well, and it is said, too, that there was just a couple people applauding for Lupin.
We probably didn't know him.
I would have.
Well, and everyone in the train compartment
Oh, yeah.
made some noise. So Gryffindor made a lot of noise for Hagrid because, you know, he's the bomb.com, and they all know it, and so do we on this podcast. So the feast finally begins, and Harry and company ate everything in sight, eager to talk to Hagrid when the meal was over. There was no mentions of sausages, guys, so I'm really sad about
You're
that.
right.
But they did talk about gold plates. Platters, excuse me. And they had pumpkin tarts. I know that.
Yes. That sounds good.
So they go to congratulate Hagrid after the feast is done. And he like starts to like blubber in like a cute Hagrid way where he's like, I can't even imagine. You know, he probably never thought he'd get to this point.
I like that he uses the tablecloth to wipe his face.
And
appropriate size handkerchief.
so McGee was like, bros, y'all gotta leave because he's crying. It's almost curfew. Y'all gotta go to school tomorrow. So they go back to their common room. They make it up to the fat lady waiting for the password. And she was like,
Sarah, I can't stand you.
she's like,
Read it.
I don't know if I can.
Read it like her.
Yo, dudes, what's the word? And Percy tells them the password is Fortuna Major, which is Latin for greater fortune. And Neville's like, nah, dog, I'm going to forget that.
But wait, that's foreshadowing. Big time. Did you write that? Foreshadowing to later.
It says
there a curse?
later,
I swear.
later bits in the book is what I wrote in my book.
Bit.
Book bits.
Bits. I literally, Fortuna Major, foreshadowing to the later bits in the book. So once in his bed, Harry finally feels that he's at home.
It's a good way to end that chapter. Yeah. All right. I feel like we lightning bolted throughout this whole episode.
I do want to touch on one thing that I should have brought up.
Okay.
The sadness of Remus Lupin seeing Harry Potter when he wakes up on the train.
There are so many times I wrote in this book, like when Harry and Remus like are having moments together, like just what's going through his head. I just, oh my God, my heart can't take it.
It literally hurts
game.
me. Yeah, like maybe he thought that when he woke up, like, am I still sleeping? Am I having a dream? You know what I mean? And then realizing, no, this is the kid I saw when last time I saw him, he was 1 year old.
It's really too bad that he didn't
Turn into
before.
Uncle Remus. Oh, Uncle Mooney.
Yeah.
God, my heart.
Yeah.
Just sad, man.
Yeah.
He would have been sneaking Harry all the chocolate.
Question.
Answers.
Out of all the chocolate lattes, what would be yours for battling your after Dementor business? So you know how there's like caramel in some chocolates. Mm-hmm. I would have almond in mine because I
Ugh.
really enjoy almond in my chocolate.
It would be the Reese's shapes.
Mally's ones.
No. Well,
Oh,
or
like the pumpkins and the eggs and the trees?
Yes.
Ugh.
Because they're more
Or-
peanut butter than chocolate.
Yeah, or yes,
got
there
chocolate
is.
on my peanut butter. You got peanut butter in my chocolate.
I'm Officer Reese's.
How can I help you? Pew, pew.
Hashtag Family Guy.
Yeah.
Or the really delicious chocolate place here in Cleveland called Mally's has peanut butter royales that are delish, and I do not share when I get them.
No, she
And
does not.
She does not like when they fall on the floor.
And her wife throws them out.
Litter.
Domestic disputes.
It's okay. She bought me 2 boxes to make up for it.
Oh my gosh.
I would have a s'more.
Yeah.
Do you
mine's-
remember, Katie, whenever we were at the ice cream or the donut place and you tried to like be creative and build a s'mores donut
I thought
and then
that
you
was
realized it
so
was on the
cool.
menu?
I literally so it's this donut place that you can you
called
pick.
Duck
It was Duck
Donuts.
Donuts, and
yeah.
anybody who follows us on social media, you saw that we went there.
Because
And
they quacked about it.
You get the donut, you pick the icing, you pick the topping, whatever.
Or you
And
can get their they're not pre-made, but they're pre-designed flavors.
Yeah.
right. So I was like, "Ooh, I know how to make. I'm gonna make a s'mores one," and I ordered it as myself. And then I looked down at the menu. I was like, "Oh, you
Because then I
there.
ordered the s'mores
yeah."
one. I'm like, can I have a s'mores one?
And Katie's like, "Oh, I thought I was original."
I thought I was cool.
Guys, those donuts. I'm so jealous my moms and dad are going to get them this weekend.
Your mom's.
My moms. Well, I mean, my mom and 2 of her sisters, and they're like,
like
my
moms.
aunts. Yeah, well, so I would have one. This is kind of specific to Starbucks, but I've also kind of made this myself. But a chocolate croissant, so it's a croissant with chocolate, and I don't want it to be warm. I actually prefer them to be like cool and the chocolate to be hard.
Have you had the Panera one?
It's probably not as good. I've also made them like when Tiffany and I watched the Voldemort Origins of the Air, right?
Yeah.
Movie. I made them. I tried to make them look like envelopes. So I'd have to try it again and if I want to make it. But oh my god, they were so good. I wanted to put strawberries in them, but the strawberries were moldy. So I just put chocolate, which is still good. But that's what I would eat because I eat that if I'm having a bad day. And then I think of Remus being like, "Eat, you'll feel better." And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, Remus.
You right.
Words of wisdom. Wisdom.
Wyndham.
Wyndham.
I'm full of Wyndham. I'm sorry. Anyways,
What kind of chocolate do you not like? Is there like one specific kind?
anything
I'll
that,
eat
that
them
like
all.
Palmer's that comes out of Easter with all those.
Oh.
I don't like that.
I
I
lied.
don't like white chocolate.
Oh,
I love some good white
Hate
chocolate.
I don't like Crunch Bars. I think
I
they're the
don't like
worst
it.
thing in the
Oh, why
world.
not?
I
in a Crunch
literally-
Bar?
I
Rice
used to remember.
Krispie thingies.
I don't like Krispies.
I literally don't like any chocolate that's made by Nestle, and I'm not.
Yeah, I don't
joking.
like
Yeah.
Nestle
It's not
either.
good anymore,
It's
but
not.
We also like, as a kid, like that was to me was like the best chocolate. And now I'm like, I've had good chocolate.
Our
so that's like,
palates
ooh.
are refined.
Yeah. Does anybody, speaking of chocolate, does anybody like Nutella?
I've
I
never
was-
had Nutella.
Oh my gosh.
I
Well, Here's
know.
the thing. It could be one of those things that you love it or you hate it.
Oh, I know. I
She
would
loves
love
the
it.
hazelnut though, so
So
she'll
you
love it.
probably really like it.
Get the
But I
girl
will
a
say-
jar.
So when I was in Paris and we were walking along the streets, my cousin and I, we stopped to get a crepe, and I had a crepe with Nutella in it, which was delicious. But the one that we
That'd be a
went
lot.
to, it was. I couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
Now, had there strawberries been in it, I would have smashed that. The only fruit they had available to go in it, like at this particular one, because they were crepe. It wasn't a stand. Like you walked up to a window that was like part of a building. They had these places all over the place, all over the city. But they had bananas, and I don't like bananas.
love
Okay, but
But they would probably
bananas.
like be really good.
Katie.
You know what I mean? If you
Yes.
liked them.
Go to the West Side Market. Go to the Crepe Lady.
I love the crepe.
They
place.
have a Nutella one with strawberries in it.
Oh my god! Just
And if you think it's going to be too much Nutella, just tell them light on the Nutella. And it's
I guarantee you it's going
It's
to be
amazing.
delicious. Because even there's
ate
times
my
where like
microphone.
you just if like you have strawberries and like chocolate, you could eat them together and not have them melted together.
but that
I love me some fruit
everybody
covered
knows
in
the West Side
chocolate.
Market Crepe Lady. Is
I gotta
amazing.
go.
I've never been there.
What?
Oh, and the
Never had
coffee
a
place
crepe
right
there.
next to it is so good.
Yeah, that's what we do. Like if we go
yep.
there, I get a
Crepes.
crepe and I get a coffee.
Yep.
and then
So
I
do
bounce.
we. It's right in that one corner.
Yeah,
That's all
And
you
then
need.
when we were in, I almost said in Paris, when we were at the
Vegas.
Paris Hotel in Vegas,
Yeah, they
I
have
think
the-
I got a savory crepe. That was the day that I wasn't feeling
did
so
not.
well.
Savory
You
crepes
got a
are
berry
good.
one.
It was
and it was
bomb.
delicious. And I took one bite of it and I was deeply regretting. I think I got like a ham and cheese one.
Yeah.
Oh, I love savory crepes.
I just
I mean,
it
I
was
do
just-
too, but like
it was just better.
But like now, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'd rather have a sweet one.
Yeah.
You gotta, if you're going with someone, you both have to get sweet or you both have to get savory because you're gonna eat one
Also-
and want the other.
What's the crepe? It's not a crepe place, but Le Petit Triangle downtown. Not downtown, but like right by me.
place.
It's Ohio City more so than Tremont.
Yeah.
They have good crepes. We went there for your birthday. I think it was the last time I went there. I got a chocolate and strawberry crepe, which was good.
Yeah.
Clearly, you can tell I like those two things together.
That was whenever we discussed joining a book club.
Yeah, that was pre-podcast. That was just book.
That's probably
book talk.
around now. Maybe no, it was her birthday.
Yeah, it
A
was her
little bit
birthday. That was when we were just going to do the book club. I'm looking at what that's turned into
before.
now.
Guys.
A load of
This,
crap.
I was going to say all this crap.
That we love.
Yeah. What else? What else can we ask?
Okay, is Remus Lupin a sexy beast or a sexy beast?
Oh, a sexy beast.
Sexy beast.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about how sexy
Tis
he is.
true. Tis true.
Are we aware
Lots
how
of sex
hot he
appeal
is?
in this book.
I am.
What else can I ask?
If you could pick someone else to play him, I said that in a very weird way. Who would you know who I would pick? And I know that you'd agree with me. I can't even think of his name.
Oh gosh.
Jamie Dornan.
Oh my
like,
god,
with
my heart
beard.
just died.
Oh God!
I don't know who I
I've
would
never
choose.
really pictured him quite like that, but I'd
don't
be
know who
okay
that
with it.
No, I don't know who I would choose.
Jamie Dornan. Excuse me.
But he needs to have like some scruff on his face.
I feel
think
like-
that Remus is not a clean.
Well, and
shaven
he
guy,
needs to
you know?
dye his hair blonde.
It's brown.
Sandy-ish.
I only really like crush on
Light
one
brown.
celebrity, and he would not be good for this role.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, he's super cute, but I can't see him playing Remus.
Who could we see play Remus Lupin?
Give me
I like-
some
Who's
suggestions.
a soft
because
Honestly-
spoken celebrity?
Honestly, Jude Law would have done well.
He would have been a good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
see
I
that.
can see that.
Except he's playing Yumbledore, so
Yeah.
darn. Guys, you tell us.
Yeah, please. I need to know.
Because I can't think. I don't know celebrities also. So
Same.
You're gonna do a rematch. What is wrong with me? We're making our own new movie. we have what's his face? Who's playing Snape?
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver's playing Snape.
Who would play Sirius?
Who would play Sirius?
Gary Oldman as his younger self.
Honestly, Gary Oldman is just
was
really good.
he was
just
so good.
He just looks a little bit too
You know who
old now.
probably would have done a good one would have been Johnny Depp.
I was gonna
yeah,
say that.
I would agree with
Yeah,
that.
he could totally pull off that bad boy.
He could.
Yeah,
He could.
I'm trying to think of other people, other younger guys. I'm trying to think of.
It's
younger
funny that
actors.
we've chosen two people who are now in
Already
Fantastic
in
Beasts.
Potter, yeah.
Like clearly they fit the role somehow.
Like I feel like I have to Google male celebrities because I don't know any.
Do you think Tom Hardy would? Ooh, Tom Hardy would probably be a good like.
Who plays Bane?
Bad guy. Tom Hardy.
Okay.
He'd be like a good Death Eater. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a good Fenrir.
Fenrir.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh God.
We're
his
getting
voice.
so off topic.
Who would you cast as Wormtail?
A real rat.
Ooh, you know who kind like Jonah Hill might be a good like you gross him out.
Oh yeah, you're right, Jonah Hill.
He's such a wormy guy. Ugh. Not him, but Wormtail and the guy that plays him. He just fits the character so well. Jeez. Who'd play James Potter?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh god.
He's older now.
Who
It's
else
good.
could play a good James Potter? Trying to think who.
You would know better than any of us.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like a white guy with dark hair.
It is what he was.
I think I've seen Ewan McGregor for Remus before.
Colin Farrell.
Could be. Could
Again,
be.
also in Fantastic Beasts.
You know who could be playing a good Lily Evans / Potter would be what is
From
her
Jurassic
name?
Park?
Slash Lupin.
No, not her.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
I'm thinking of the girl that was on Doctor Who, and she's in.
I only know like one.
I know- her
couple
name's
redheaded
Amy, right?
actresses.
Amy. Yes. Well, no,
Amy
in the show,
Adams?
Yeah.
Amy Pond, I think is.
Oh.
Oh, I think Amy Adams would have been good.
I could see that.
But I've never seen her in a serious role. But I love Fisher.
She's in the.
I always get
What is-
Isla Fisher and
Oh, I think they get them mixed up as
Amy
well.
Adams.
Amy Adams confused. They like seriously look like twins.
Oh, I don't think so.
What?
Yeah. Well, because they have red hair.
No,
But they look.
And hand me down robe.
They're Weasleys.
No, I think their faces look very similar.
I would
that
never
mixed up,
cast Molly as anybody else.
Nope.
No, she's
Nor
perfect.
Arthur.
She's so good. I love her. I'm trying to think of Guardians of the Galaxy, sister of Gamora. What's her name?
I can't think of her name. But I mean, obviously.
Karen Gillan. Oh, that's her name. Do you know what she looks like?
Yeah.
I was about to look her up. Oh, I
Like,
can see
she would
that.
be really good Lily Evans.
Yeah.
/ Piata.
Meg is very
Did you look at her?
specific
I
with
saw it on
her
Katie's.
Lily.
Willie.
Lily.
Lily.
She's
What's the matter, Billy? All right. Well, we could probably. I mean,
Yeah, let's wrap.
it's been a long episode.
All right, fan story.
Fan story. This week comes from Ava Serwinski.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sorry if we pronounce it wrong, and when I
Yeah.
say we, I mean Katie.
Yep, me. Like you guys, I didn't want to read it at first. My friends would always try to get me to read it, but I was stubborn and I wouldn't. Then my dad started to listen to it on the way to Wyoming because we were driving to see my cousins. But I didn't listen and I kept watching my movie. That's true stubbornness. Then a few months later, I started having nightmares and went through some dark times. So I started to listen to it, and after 1 month, I had finished all of them. They saved me from probably a dark month. Then I found you guys, and you make me laugh and brightened my day. And I love you guys.
Aw, we love you too.
Thank you.
Thank you. And like we always say, Harry Potter is a wonderful place to feel
Call
like you're
home.
at home. Yeah. And it does. I mean, we see it in so many stories. It helps so many people out of really dark places. It's helped us out of dark places. So
Yep.
thank you for being brave enough to share that with us.
It's true.
Yeah.
It is true. All right. So thank you for submitting that. I love all the Potter stories. So keep them coming. I know
Yes.
we get new listeners all the time, and I know this is episode 47, but just keep submitting.
Yeah.
Keep submitting. All
Facebook
right.
message or email us.
Yep.
Yep.
We'll find them.
Swishflickcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
All right. You want to hear what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I'm growing a baby
Wait, you are?
currently. Yeah.
Wait, I'm gonna be an aunt. By this time this
For
comes
true.
out, I might actually
You might
have
be one,
a niece or nephew.
and I might be a mama.
Well, you're already kind of like a mom
It's true.
because you got like a dog.
A dog.
A dog.
Utter dogs.
All right. I am also on a podcast all about video games called Box Trick with my friend Matt Brady. And we are currently playing Pokemon, doing a Pokemon playthrough. So you can find me at Box Trick.
And Katie and I have another podcast called Grown Up Kids, where we are doing a chronological watch of all of the Walt Disney films. You can find us at Grown Up Kids, a Disney podcast. We're on all of the
Social medias.
social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Yeah. Episodes come out every Sunday, just like Swish.
And we also have an Etsy shop where we sell some of our own designs that we've made from Harry Potter inspired things. They're all posters and they're sweet for parties. They're good for just some home decor swag.
True.
Check it out. Accio Designs is what it's called. That might help if I tell you that.
And we're on Etsy.
I said
did say
Etsy.
that.
Oh,
I just
okay.
didn't say what we were.
I actually linked Accio Designs off of our website. So if you guys don't know how to find it on Etsy, just go to swishflickcast.com and you can find the link to it.
And keep your eyes peeled on our website. Our website. Keep going back every now and again. You never know when you're going to see some new designs pop up.
Yes. And make sure you sign
We
up with
might-
their email. You'll get
We might
occasional emails from
have-
us.
Yes. We might have a surprise product whenever Baby Swisher arrives.
Heyo.
So
Are we going to have any fun surprises for the 1 year anniversary?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna be quitting that day. Bye.
We're having
Again.
we are having a plethora of designs come out on our anniversary. So
Maybe.
stay tuned.
We'll see.
All right.
Also, lastly, I'm going to say this just because this isn't coming out until June 24th. By that time, you can head back on over to Main Street 9 3/4 because Kate and I will be starting our vlogs up again. So it's happening. And because I said it now, it's going to have to happen. So
All right. So
YouTube.
I'm gonna take a moment to not plug anything and be a little serious. No pun intended. Because I know a lot of things have been happening in the media lately, and I know that talking about Dementors, and with J.K. Rowling and everything, talking about depression, I just want to say, if you or someone that you know and love or just like is having a hard time, reach out to someone. It can be us. It could be someone else. I don't know all the international numbers, but I know at least for the United States, if you call 1-800-273-8255, they're available 24 hours to like talk. Or you can, there's people that can talk to you online. There's people you can text because we love you. And, you know, you're not alone.
Important.
You're needed.
Yeah.
You're needed.
And I know that all of us have had issues where we've struggled, and Harry Potter brings joy and all that stuff to us. So
When you need
you're
a
not
Patronus,
alone. Yeah.
we got you.
One more thing in regards to that. If you notice someone that you love is maybe not maybe what they used to be, maybe they're not in touch so much, reach out. You know, it might not be anything that is
Better safe than sorry.
serious, but it's always good to check in on people because sometimes I know that some people might not reach out for help.
Yeah.
So
And
you
some
reach
people
out to them.
aren't going to ask, and they feel alone, and they're not going to seek out that attention. So, yeah.
Keep your eyes on your friends and love one another.
And if it's you, please, when we say, if you reach out to us and you just tell, like, we can talk to
Honestly.
you.
Yes.
And I know a lot of our other listeners I've seen have said similar things on our group, being
Yes.
like, you know, if you need to talk, they're here.
Go to
So-
our Facebook page, like our group. Those girls and guys there are so they're amazing. Seriously, like anybody who needs anything can reach out there. Message us on our podcast page, and all four of us get those messages. Message me. I can say for me at least, if you want to message my Facebook page, I check my like requests all the time. So even if I'm not friends with you, like I check the requests. Just reach out. It's
Same for me, that if you want to, you know, reach out.
Send
'cause
us an email
Same.
too if you
Yeah.
want.
You're not alone. It gets better. And we're here for you.
Dementors can be defeated.
We
Sometimes
will
it
be,
just takes a village.
Hold on,
Yep.
as Good Charlotte used to say. And seriously, that song's amazing.
Yep.
It's a
And
good song.
I recommend listening to it if you feel those demons.
Swish and Flick will be your chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay. So that concludes this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening, and don't let the muggles get you down.
Amazing! Just my voice!
Corn dogs is the worst of them all. Kindle just kicked me off. I was in the middle of this. You just What happened? Sorry.
Mikey's mice. Micers. Mouses. Mises.
And I am Van Gogh.
And I'm Michelangelo.
I hate all